Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Hollywood After Dark, December 30th, 2021. One day till the end of the year, one day till we can move forward, and that's what tonight is. Let's lay the Snyderverse content to bed here on this channel, where I will explain to you why the Snyder Cut succeeded and restoring it will fail. Hold on to your butts, it's going to be a wild one. Let's dive right the hell into it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. It, of course, is, as I said, December 30th, 2021. We are just a couple days away, not even a day away, really, from the end of the year. And I'm excited for it to be over. I'm excited to see what comes next. Also, because the winter storm hitting my area is finally starting to subside. Today, we got hit with another fresh 5 inches, but that should be that. And it should start to melt here tomorrow going forward. So I can finally leave my home, which would be great to go out into the real world and do real world things instead of bitching about imaginary shit on the internet. That, of course, is why we are here tonight. And we are here to talk about this, to put it to bed. Exactly why release the Snyder Cut worked and why restore the Snyder Cut or restore the Snyderverse will not. And not in the way that you think. And it's a conversation that needs to happen, and it's one that people need to pay attention to. Because this is what I'm going to be pulling from is data that is available, data that has been talked about, and my own speculation as to why I believe this. Now, other people who are going to be joining me on this might not agree, and that's okay. But we're going to try to do this. And you know what? If we need to, yeah, we might do call-ins. We might do call-ins on this. This could be an interesting ride on this one. Carlos here says, "Hey, I finally get to see one of your streams. I'm sleeping." Well, Carlos, glad to have you here, buddy. Think it's going to be good. And then also Rational Skeptic kicking off tonight with a $5 super chat. Says here, Brandon Rouse said there are many Superman projects for far along in development at Warner Brothers and HBO Max. Could one of those projects be Man of Steel 2? I think Man of Steel 2 relies probably on the success of Black Adam, which, as I have proved multiple times over, The Rock cannot lead a franchise that is not an ensemble with also popular individuals. And as much as I love Pierce Brosnan, I don't think Dr. Fate is going to be the big one to do it. Aldous Hodge, Noah Centineo, look, they're good actors. I have no problem with it. Looking forward to seeing their roles. But again, those aren't the names of people that put butts in seats. And as I pointed out even on a TikTok today, looking at The Rock's take home for individually led films, it has a lot of trouble cracking the anything over 400 million. And in one instance, only $176,000. And that, of course, was Red Notice. That was playing in 400 screens here in the United States at Cinemark. And still, with The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot, could still not pull in more than $176,000 in theaters. So it's a very interesting conversation to be had on this one. And of course, let me bring in the first couple of people for tonight. Of course, we have RJ, my friend, your friend. You know him, you love him. And then probably one of the most contentious assholes in my friend group, but I love him anyway. Mad Max, the Mandalorian. I don't know if he's back yet from getting something to drink.
Yeah, I'm back. What? Contentious? I'm spreading hope today.
Oh, I don't know. Yesterday was pretty bad, Max.
What?
Yesterday was pretty bad.
Well, I'm here for a good conversation. People, I'm having a good time. Yesterday was fun for me.
I don't know. The Grassy Knolls here says Max has gone full Mike Zenosh.
Mike Zenosh? No! I could, just because I have hope doesn't mean I've gone full Zenosh.
Zenosh or Enosh?
You are acknowledging that is a thing. I love that, by the way, that you're acknowledging that
if it's going full Enosh, I could do that. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Roosevelt here says Mad Max you need to buy a comic slab stand, which he does. I saw that. Cool. I saw that you sent it. That's great.
Roosevelt's a good dude, man. Yeah. I was surprised, Roosevelt. I wasn't expecting anything else in there in that package. I really appreciate it. I was just expecting the giveaway stuff. Comics.
Yeah. There was Jess Mars who frequents the chat here. sent me something for Christmas. It got delayed because of the snowstorm. I was finally able to get over to the post office today, and the package is big. It's so big it won't fit in my post office box. So I have to go to like the front desk, and they were closed. And I'm like, God damn it. And then of course, as like the cold front is moving back in and the roads are getting more icier, it's like, great. Yes, I'm going to be stuck in this winter hellhole forever. Also joining us, we have Caden and Jimbo Black Ops. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey, Jimbo.
What's up? What's up?
Every time Jimbo tries to get on my stream, it's like he's like, maybe I'll try to go on Max's stream, and then it's always like last night. It's like, oh, nice to see you, Jimbo.
Yeah, nice to see you. It was interesting last night.
Yeah.
It was definitely, well, it was partly last night and everything else that's been going on that really wanted to prompt me to kind of put this to bed. And because the thing is, what I'm sick and tired of is I'm sick and tired of, again, as I have said, maybe, you know what, maybe I've used the term false hope. All right. And I've been criticized for that. But let me try another terminology here. Toxic positivity, because I think there's a lot of toxic positivity. And I think there's people out there that are just like, no, remain positive, no matter what, you know, without acknowledging what has actually been said. And I think it leads to a lot of internal gaslighting and people who just want to not acknowledge where things are and really even where they've been. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I know, Max, you want everything to continue. And by the way, as do the rest of us here want to see this continue.
All of us want to see a continuation in some form.
But what we're looking at is we're looking at the data as it's presented. We're looking at how things are playing out and what things have actually been said. You know, and so, and versus speculation coming in from people, you know, and I'm not saying like, you know, scoopers who are scoopers, fine, you can believe them or not believe them. That's up to you. But what I'm talking about here is outright what has been said on the information.
Well, I came to a realization last night. Last night was great for me. I like that kind of conversation. I know it stresses other people out, but I enjoy it. And I don't I try not to take things too personally. But something that Paul said really helped me understand why we have such a hard time even debating it. Is we Mark Hamill, we fundamentally disagree on even the statements for Warner Brothers. When he did the comparison to Kevin Feige, you have consumer confidence there. And regardless of what you think of the Snyder Cut fan or not, there is no consumer confidence in anything they say. Or like RJ, when we were debating at one time, he said, well, they're doing other things. They're moving past. We have no confidence that they could do anything but the Snyderverse still. Like, even if they move on, they still haven't shown that they could do anything that's connected at all. Look at Wonder Woman 84. Look at Birds of Prey. It's still all over the place. It's still scattered. And also, all the announcements, they haven't earned that consumer confidence of believing what they say for one part. That's one part right there. So even though Hamada said certain things or Ann Cernoff, that's another strong reason why people there's just no consumer confidence in WB. There is with Feige. When Feige announces something, most likely on one or two occasions, maybe something doesn't pan out. But most of the stuff with WB over the years, it doesn't happen or it's a mess. And you can't really trust what they're saying.
Well, I understand that, but
I mean, that's where we fundamentally
at the same time,
disagree.
Can we at least admit, though, that when you deny an official report, even outside of Warner Brothers, from the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, something that's about as official as it gets, it leads to the conversation that you're being deluded. Not you specifically, but when I say you, I'm talking about the fandom as a whole, or certain individuals in the fandom. Why that leads to people thinking you're quote unquote, I don't like the word, but I'm going to use it in this context, crazy or delusional.
What are we
when you deny
what
the actual
specific
reports?
What report? Which one are you talking about?
I can name an example right now. Back when the Hollywood Reporter first reported that Michael Keaton was coming back for The Flash, they said one of the possibilities, and this was it, or not the Hollywood Reporter. I'm sorry, Deadline. This is Deadline. They said that it was very possible he was going to come back in a Nick Fury-like role, mentor figure role, and one of the movies they were looking at was Batgirl. And for months and months and months and months and months, various individuals in the fandom continued to deny that and act like that wasn't true until the actual report came out that like 100% confirmed.
I like you also, I don't know everything that happens. I didn't personally deny that. I didn't know any of my friends that have. I'm not saying anyone didn't. This is something I don't know about. I don't know people denied that. This is also people.
Well, we had an entire conversation last night about arguing about whether or not Joss Whedon's cut of Justice League was canon. When there's articles about that in the New York Times a year ago.
Yeah, that's another thing that really was revealing to me last night is the Canon Argument. Again, it's kind of a crazy argument because, to me, in my opinion, because both Joss Whedon's version of Justice League and Zack Snyder are both the same characters. You kind of end up in the same place at the end. So, which the shocking moment to me last night was the Flash in the CW series. That's not Zack Snyder's Flash. That's Joss's Flash. It completely shocked the hell out of me that people think like this. Like, these actors in these roles, whether you want it or not, you're like denying that the Snyderverse existed. It's called Snyderverse, but it's really the DCEU, really.
Here's the thing with that, though. It's not even called the DCEU.
Well, this is also a WB problem. All these debates come back. It always comes back to WB. It's a big mess. But honestly, denying that this is even that Flash is completely ridiculous because that Flash was in BVS in both versions. All these characters were in both versions of the film, and it's not like they're completely different, these films. One's better than the other.
I would argue there's a distinct tonal difference, though.
But you end up in the same place mostly. The Justice League's formed. Superman comes back. They defeat Steppenwolf. They don't have Darkseid in the one. It really ends up in the same place. So to say, even like there was a point where Hamada's like, the Joss Whedon version is canon. Okay, that's still Zack Snyder's work, even though it's a hodgepodge, it's put together. And I still like the movie.
I would fundamentally disagree with that. Joss Whedon's version is not Zack's work. Yes, some of the DNA is in there, but it's intrinsically a WB corporate film.
But what story point is different that can have people say it's not canon? Like what can lead people to say this isn't Zack's work?
The death of Silas Stone in the Snyder Cut.
Also, the introduction of Iris
and Martian Manhunter.
Iris is in Flash.
Yes, but that's going to be the first time canonically that they acknowledge that she existed, because she never existed in the Joss Whedon cut.
Yeah, she's only. And that's why.
And again, one of the other major things is the Snyder cut killed off Silas Stone. The Joss Whedon version, that character's still alive. We never even got to see Ryan Choi. There's major canonical differences between those two films.
Yes.
Okay, so if they suddenly bring him back, which we might not even get Cyborg back, what does that have to do with I don't understand where you're going with that. Like,
I'm saying that they are intrinsically on two very different paths. They're diverging films canonically and timeline-wise. There are such fundamental differences for where the future of both films lead that you can't suddenly mix it together. You're arguing that you're on the same divergent path. Sure, beat for beat, you're kind of in the same path, but how you get there is so fundamentally different. They're intrinsically different films.
I mean, you can't. You have to look at Justice League as being effectively a different movie. You know, because yes, there are DNA elements of Zack Snyder. There's stuff that he shot. I mean, there's an entire different opening of the movie, for crying out loud, and a bunch of other stuff there too. The thing is, though, what you made a point about Wonder Woman 84 and Birds of Prey. That was Warner's once again course correcting in their eyes. I'm not saying it was good, but in their eyes, that was course correcting. As I've said, the reason why I believe we will not get the Ayer cut for a while is because Margot Robbie, because of everything. A lot of the content that we want to see in the Ayer cut is about the Joker. And that is something she doesn't want to go out there because it's going to contradict where her character has gone in the subsequent two films.
I agree with you on that. I've changed my stance. I do want the Ayer cut. I think it's mostly done, but I agree with you on that point. Just revisiting that red carpet interview, she seemed so disgusted with the thought of it and so avoiding, she was acting completely dumb. And I'm not a hater of Margot Robbie or anything, but it really seems like she has nothing to do with it. And there's reasons. It seems like behind the scene reasons that she doesn't want.
And
to
that's
even acknowledge
unfortunate.
it.
That's unfortunate that it's like that. But she does have power right now over the character.
I agree with that.
She's going to be in that position to kind of make that call. And I don't think anyone is going to out her publicly over it, to be honest with you. But you can tell that there's been a course correct. In fact, there's been a course correct ever since, what was it, like the first weekend of April 2016, after BVS dropped the 76% or 77% in its second weekend. Due to the poor word of mouth about how fundamentally flawed the theatrical cut was. And then Warner's quickly scrambled to try to fix things by demoting Zach and putting in Jeff Johns and John Berg. And we all know the story after that. But, there's been this massive course correct over it. And, so what we really have to look at here is the idea of what is the release, the Snyder Cut movement, because we have to go back and really talk about that, right? We have to go back and look at the roots of that thing. And so why did it start? It started because fans are aware that Zack Snyder does director's cuts, and his director's cuts are usually better than what we get theatrically. Dawn of the Dead, Watchmen. I would love to see a 300 director's cut. I don't know if there is one or isn't one. But he's kind of known for the director's cuts. BVS specifically. The extended edition or the ultimate edition of BVS changed a lot of people's minds about what could come out of that movie. And I think that's one of the things that turned it into a classic. And so as a result of that, fans wanted to see his cut of the movie because they weren't happy with what they got. Warner's made the vast mistake, especially Kevin Tushihara and Toby Emmerich, because the oncoming AT&T merger was happening. They wanted to get their bonus, and because they thought they were going to be fired, is why they decided to push the movie through, because they thought they were going to be let go during the restructure of the merger. That move cost the company, in my mind, several $100 million and a shit ton of positive press, because it showed that the 2-hour hard cut that Tushihara wanted, which was already something that was being done, that Zach was aware of. Before Zach left the project, that 2-hour hard cut was already put on him, which I don't think was fair. So he was shooting the way he normally does in order to cobble together an extended edition to show them to hopefully get a home video release. That's what he always intended on doing with this. And so putting it out there in the way that he did and teasing it in the way that he did over the years did get more people involved, and more people through word of mouth wanted to see this because people did talk about the BVS and everything else. And that's great. But the other part of that too is we have to start looking at this from a financial incentive. Why would Warner Brothers want to do this? Well, HBO Max is a big reason. And what prompted them to do it? Well, the report came out that when Warner Brothers was selling the rights for Army of the Dead to Netflix had apparently inquired about purchasing the rights to the Snyder Cut and finishing it. And at that point, I believe, my speculation, so I could be wrong, but this is what I believe happened, is that at that point, Warner's realized, wait, we have something here that our competitor is looking to get their hands on. What can we do with this?
For a lot of money to get it.
Most likely. And they probably thought we can use this as a way to push HBO Max. And so when that happened, that was how the deal came together. And again, my speculation. And so through a series of not only a fan-led movement, but the induction of the streaming wars and the interest from a competitor about, buying this property up would definitely be problematic for DC, because you got to remember at the time, DC also had DC Universe, which they launched in September of 2018, and it never caught on. Sure, Doom Patrol and Titans and Harley Quinn all came out of that network, but it never really picked up in a way that was never hit the mainstream. Yeah,
it was like a niche streaming platform for like the hardcore DC fans.
Absolutely,
had that wide range appeal.
Which is the reason why they ultimately canceled it and moved everything over to HBO Max, because it just made the most amount of sense. And so if you just take all of that data into account and just kind of apply Occam's razor, simplest explanation often being the most truest, what you get is a situation of where the studio needed a project that was going to be something as big as The Mandalorian or Game of Thrones or Stranger Things that would be able to come out and put HBO Max on the map. This was a bold move by Keelar, and I think it's a right move by Keelar, but it was a business move by Keelar, who would come to Warner Media from Hulu, where he understood the streaming game. And what's unfortunate about Keelar now is that Keelar is in the position where he's losing his job because his parent company did not have faith in what he could do because he made bold choices during the pandemic. And there was a little bit of pushback from people in the industry, and they freaked out and decided to merge the companies together. And none of that freak out had anything to do with Zack Snyder's Justice League. It was literally about Godzilla v. Kong. It was about, The Matrix. It was about the Suicide Squad. It was about King Richard, all of the movies that came out this year. Mortal Kombat, you name it. It was mostly about that because that was where the money was going to come from. Because the impact value of Zack Snyder's Justice League was going to be hopefully big enough for the network in order to bring in a whole bunch of new subscribers. The thing is,
I was going to say, I got a hot take real quick. I feel like the impact value of the Snyder Cut was undermined a little bit when in 2020 they announced that the 2021 theatrical slate was going to a day and date with HBO Max, because suddenly the Snyder Cut, which was positioned as the big here's why you need to subscribe to HBO Max, was now being undercut by here's the real reason to subscribe to HBO Max. You get to watch all these movies that should be theatrical only in the comfort of your living room. And that was a major play by the executives to push HBO Max even further. So,
and it's one of the reasons why I think next month we're going to see a lot of people dip from HBO Max. I understand that it's in some respects. See, DC Big Oso here says HBO Max is hemorrhaging subs, whereas Degrassi says HBO Max is actually gaining ground.
Well, it depends on if they get to other regions. Like, are they in Brazil and stuff yet? I don't even know. Like, they were going
I feel like
to.
HBO Max still kind of has a branding problem. Like, it's not
the
best.
They were talking about getting into other regions. I don't know if they even have yet. I'm not sure. I don't. Why? Do we know
I
if
know
they're worldwide or.
There's a lot of legal hangups with making a streaming service, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are, because you're going into different areas and there's different agreements that are made and everything else.
Yeah,
that's the thing that's going to give them the biggest boost is if they get in most regions at least. Yeah.
Well, okay. So as of right now, it's looking at global 70 up to like between 70 million and 73 million subscribers. So so it's gone up quite a bit. But then again, it did say that it did have a subscriber loss in quarter 3 of this year as well. So it it dropped from 70 to 73 million to or I can't, maybe I'm reading this wrong. I think either way it's they said that there's some loss there. And again, I feel the biggest issue with HBO Max is the price. I don't think the movies that Warner's released this year were necessarily the greatest. And, the streaming stuff was really good. But look, the 30 days on HBO Max was kind of dumb. They should have just stayed on HBO Max once they were there. And I mean, that's obviously the corporate side of things, but you can tell that that they went with David Zaslav because Zaslav and John Stankey, the CEO of AT&T, are friends, and they want to figure out a way to come to maximize exposure.
I mean, the deal literally happened because they were playing golf together. So
no, it was a text message conversation.
Oh, it was a text message? I thought they were playing golf or something.
No, they were texting each other, and then that turned into a 2-hour conversation on the phone. And then after that, it was like, well, okay, cool. Let's set this up for you to take over my company. Now, the way Warner Media did it is they are merging with Discovery. Zaslav is taking over. Warner still retains a 70% control. So they're gonna have a lot of say in what goes on. Zaslav is just overseeing the day to day. Now, does that mean that Keelar is going to be out of a job? I would say yes, even though that's unfortunate because I think the guy did a pretty good job. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. I also feel that, the Snyder Cut was they call it a global phenomenon. They said social media, 34.7 billion impressions. Impressions is that's a big number, but impressions doesn't mean clicks, doesn't mean engagement. And if you look at their actual numbers for their increase, for their social media profiles, they only went up 1.5 million unique individuals. with 34.7 billion impressions. So that's not a lot of turnover. You know what I mean? That's not a lot of bringing new people to the table. People saw it, but not a lot of people decided they wanted to follow and join up on the plans and everything else.
I think a lot of people work on the assumption that, oh, just because this movement worked, anything is possible when it comes to, a movement online. It's like, no, you can't literally accomplish anything with that type of method.
You mean not a lot of new people carrying the hashtag? That doesn't mean that general.
I mean, that's what keeps the movement alive.
Well,
right?
the hashtag though, but the hashtag has changed, right? It was release the Snyder Cut, then it was the Snyder Cut, then it was Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so it's kind of like the branding on that's been kind of all over the place as well. I think these guys simply did Zack Snyder's Justice League was theirs, or maybe it was Snyder Cut, because once the damn thing was confirmed in May of 2020, then the actual usage of release the Snyder Cut was not going to be needed anymore because we knew that it was coming. And when it finally arrived, you know what? Again, I don't think it had as big of an impact as a lot of people out there wanted, or that they tell themselves. A lot of people like to cite Samba TV. Well, Samba had 1.8 million. Wonder Woman 1984 had more people, according to Samba.
The presence can't be understated either, though, because of the other campaigns they do for themselves, where they dump money into it. HBO is still more popular than the majority of what they're putting out. It still has more relevancy than the other stuff, even though. Well, look at Wonder Woman 84, the Suicide Squad, they came and went. People are still talking about this.
Well, here's my question for you. Well, here's my question though.
Who's still talking about it though?
Is it people in this group?
About it.
Well, we're actually trying to get away.
I'm a YouTuber though, and I'm trying to get away from it. I'm wiping my hands clean of this after tonight.
This is our last time talking about this, because
there's another thing that should be brought up is we're not talking about the actual film right now. We're just talking about the drama around it. That's all it is, Max. It's just the community and the culture around it. It's nothing to do with the actual film. Are we talking about plot points in the film right now? Are we debating over the philosophical arguments brought up in the film?
Possibilities of the future that coming to light with Daniel RPK. I know people don't like Daniel RPK.
What's the point of talking about it though, until there's nothing
turn down some offers? That means that there are talks. This is interesting movie talk to me. Possibilities. I'm not saying it's set in stone. Things are tough. They may never be able to reach even if they want to continue with Zack. I've always said, what he wants is creative control. They may not give it to him. They may not be, you don't know, they may not ever be able to come to agreement.
Well, remember,
we all speculate on all kinds of stuff. I don't understand.
Well, remember though, but again, Zack likes to contradict himself too. And he does, he actually does. So basically what happens here is Zack has said, in regards to things like he wants to come back to do it. Sure. He'll also never say no to a paying customer. He said that. He says no compromises on the Snyder Cut, 0 compromises or else I won't do it. And he compromised on a couple different things, because there's things he wanted to do that they wouldn't let him do, like put Green Lantern in. So he went out like he does, and he shot extra footage, which he wasn't supposed to do. And he was able to sneak some of it in, and he got shut down on other stuff. That's a compromise. You know what I mean? But it's a very high level, or a very surface level compromise in general. All I'm saying is, look, he's a movie guy. He's gonna play the game as best as he can.
Shooting extra footage is compromising the original thing of the film. He tried. I mean, I see where you're going with that. But
that's his vision. His vision was to finish. Wasn't it full control? Finish your vision the way you want to finish it. Yeah. And that they still, I mean, look, they can't really use the argument about Jon Stewart in the Green Lantern show, because they decided to kill the New Gods, and Ava DuVernay says that it was because of the Snyder Cut.
Right. That's something else to consider. Why?
So, if it was, maybe they also realized that it's also like that was a cul-de-sac, and they didn't want to confuse the audience.
Well, also possibility they may need Darkseid to return in some form.
I swear I've heard this exact same conversation between you two 5 separate times.
most likely. I'm trying to run through the points, right?
No,
the data points of this.
It's just
so, but I do I will say this. As I said today on Twitter, the Snyder Cut is my second favorite film of the year, behind No Way Home. I love both movies. I think they're fantastic. I think, this was Zack's magnum opus. I think Army of the Dead was a fun enough movie, but it's not one I want to go back and revisit time and time again. But the Snyder Cut is something that is fundamentally different, because there was a lot of love and a lot of heart there. But the thing is though, is when now we look to the future, because this is that whole concept that Jody and Andy were pushing with the Snyder cult. And a lot of us are pushing back on them at the time. And I hate to say that they're right, and I don't want to give them any credit, but where things have gone now in regards to, let's say, the restore the Snyderverse movement has gotten to the point now where it has become so incessantly toxic that, people are just getting disgusted and walking away, and I'm seeing it now daily,
including me. I'm walking away after today. I'm done.
Okay,
so.
You'll find what you're looking for on the internet. If you look for positivity, there's still some to find in every fandom. If you look for the toxic, you're going to get the toxic. That doesn't excuse the behavior. People need to understand everyone's part in the cycle, and not just blame others when they don't take any responsibility for themselves. Even me.
You can be a good Samaritan to that community and try and encourage people to be better. And
a lot of the people that complain the most are the ones that go into a thread that say that tell people what to do about their fandom, or say this isn't going to happen, and try to argue with people. I'm not saying that justifies.
You know why I'm walking away? Yeah, let me tell you. When this Richard Newby situation happened, it opened my eyes to a lot of different things. The fact that someone who's been a proponent of the Snyder Cut and the Snyderverse movement for a long time, who's written fantastic articles, who the Snyderverse fandom lifted up when they were a voice that they could use to have a voice in the film pundit space, right? They loved him back then. When he is vilified with racist insults for simply saying he liked the Suicide Squad just a little bit more, and you are having voices in this fandom stay absolutely silent and not standing up for him whatsoever and letting shit slide because they're too afraid to stand up to these people because they know they don't want to be a target themselves, it's gone too far. It's too far gone.
I will report on that. I don't know about that. You saw that. I don't.
No, and I'm not.
Do you see
people
people co-signing a bad?
It's not an issue with you. I'm not saying.
Do you see people co-signing that? Do you see people
retweeting silence? Yeah. When it's definitely something.
Not everyone knows about it.
Silence is condoning it. If you have a platform, use it and speak up.
Okay. I don't know about it. I will research it. I have no problem calling out bad behavior.
And Max, I love you. But what happened last night in your chat was absolutely disgusting.
Give me one example. You said someone said a moron.
I could give you other people.
When people call other people crazy and DC and are condescending and talk down to people. Does that justify the response?
Nothing that happened last night was anybody talking down or condescending to people. It was somebody voicing their opinion, and they're being labeled a moron, a troll, an asshole. You have a channel member. You have a channel member who was on your mailbag, Austin Lean, who's going to be joining very shortly, being attacked by somebody in your chat, Sickness, who I've seen in various communities, including yours and Enosh's. That's not fair to anybody. And it's not. I'm not blaming you, Max. I'm just saying.
I'm friends with everyone. That's what you get on my channel. I don't stop talking.
Max, there are some people not worth being friends with.
Yeah, you gotta call out the bullshit sometimes.
I'll also say this:
listen, a lot of my friends on the critic side have gone and go after people as well, not with the toxicity, but you go hard at someone. I'm not saying you deserve the response. But this is completely unfair to not recognize your own part of it in this.
I'll also say this is that
there's history there with these people. Yeah. I can't control either side of that. And should I stop talking to both sides? This is an unfair thing you're putting on.
No one's trying to tell you that
you can't. I'm not trying to tell you it's in your platform. I'm saying, like, from my emotional standpoint, that is why I don't want to be a part of it anymore. And it's not on you. Could you do more? Maybe. I don't know. I still love you. You're my friend. I want you to do what's best for your channel. But that is an example of why having the conversation is pointless.
I love Austin. He was on a stream with Thai Pop Culture Corner talking about someone else too. It's not like everyone contributes to this. I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming Thai. That's their freedom of speech. They want to call out what they feel is bad behavior. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm saying recognize when each person contributes to this. And don't blame just one side. This is why I said everyone needs to take accountability and responsibility.
I just want to address something in the chat. Rel, you're absolutely correct. There have been people, even in this chat I've seen, do you say some not nice things about Enosh? And I've called that out publicly and privately. And I love Enosh and I defend Enosh. I don't like toxicity in any chat, but I'll be honest, the chat here, at least I can have the conversation and I can at least walk away and not feel like shit. One person said
moron. One person said moron.
No, there was way more than that.
But it's not just that, Max. It's like this person has been attacking and poking Austin every time Austin pops up in chat. It's nothing that Austin says or does, and then Sickness just attacks. It's not like
I can talk to Sickness. I honestly don't talk to Sickness that much. Dude, you're saying you're putting on me a history of those two going back and forth. I don't know the whole history there.
No,
I don't like moron, but to say moron is toxic.
There's no history. The issue is when somebody voices an opinion and they get attacked for it.
Okay, but it's okay.
That's not fair.
But RJ, it's okay for you and your group here to constantly mock people for having hope.
When have I mocked anybody?
Who? They need to get their head out of the sand. Oh,
Can you give an
example? Crazy Snyder bros.
Give a name, please.
I don't think I use the term Snyder bro. I've said Q-Borg. I don't say DC Anon. I say Q-Borg, but I'm very specific with who I refer to that to.
I don't see anyone on this panel going after individuals. I don't.
I like Mercury and Geralt of those guys.
I don't justify what he's done either, but you've constantly mocked him for giving a bad take on one stream about the.
It's not, dude. It's not
about the who's the director of Suicide Squad?
James Gunn. It's not just dude. It's not just that. Zada's also like he has these streams where like anyone who doesn't agree with them, he'll be like they're fake fans. They were never really there. They were never this. They were never that. They were just in it, And I get accused of that all the time. I got accused of that today. Even someone's like, "You were never a real fan." That's what's going on here. That's what's going on. That's when we talk about the toxicity. There is like
him behind the scenes before it.
But he still does it though, dude. He still has done it. That's the whole point. Not only that. Hold on.
Okay, good.
So even Saggy retweeted someone today who was like, "I've been a fan of Ben Affleck as Batman since they first cast him. I've spent a lot of time defending him. The movement is the fan base has gotten terrible, and I have to dip." And there's like 30 quote tweets, and a lot of them are just like, "You were never a real fan. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you." Shit like that, where it's like not understanding why a person wants to leave the fandom. It's just now like, fuck you. You're not one of us. You're one of the others.
I hate to say that, but
it's like, cult-like behavior. Now,
there's no justification for that, but I want to give an example. I want to give it. I want to try to let you guys understand, or help you understand, when you don't want to be a part of anything anymore, and then you leave. And then it's kind of like a virtue signal. I'm better than this toxic shit. You can stick with it. It's not always
that, though.
This is the This is the perception of it gets for people that still try to be within the fandom. It's kind of like a virtue signal. Like I'm better than this. You guys are horrendous, and then you constantly attack it when you leave. If you're gonna leave, okay, leave.
No, hold on.
Criticize it when you leave too, but you're constantly mocking something because you don't want to be.
But see now, but here's the thing. Now you're minimizing that. Hold on. Now you're minimizing that. Yes, you are. You are minimizing. Max.
Can I let me? You always say I interrupt you.
Okay, fine. All right. Finish your point.
I'm not minimizing it. I'm saying if you're gonna leave and you're saying people that are still trying within it, and then you constantly go after it. Please understand what you're doing.
It's not constantly.
It's not. It's again. It's like what we talk about when I bring it up here on this show. I try to cite specific examples, usually with the more extreme amount of the crazies. But when I'm seeing more and more people that are going, I'm tired of this fandom. I'm tired of the way that they act. I'm tired of all this stuff, and it's now turning. More and more people are doing it, and it's met with, well, fuck you then, sort of thing. And never asking maybe
what was your context to your tweets today, Matt, about it.
Which tweet?
The image that you made a meme about.
Oh, this one? I got it right here.
Is that just is that trying to make people What do you expect kind of response from that?
I don't endorse
anyone who knows me knows that this would be a shit post.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows me knows that this would be a joke.
If you're a shit poster and you get shit, I'm not excusing this.
No,
shit,
no. That's different. Hold on.
Wow, I found. Yeah.
No, again, this person that I was referring to beforehand doesn't post shit like I do. I like the meme. But even earlier today, I said that Zack Snyder's Justice League was my second favorite movie of the year.
Okay.
And then I still just had a little bit of fun poking fun at people. And you know what? And guess what? A lot of people were laughing at it because they get the joke.
Yeah.
They get that none of this, like, come on, really here? No woke politics, only 2 hours, Boy Scout Superman, Danny fucking Elfman. Are you kidding me? Who would believe that?
What's the context of most of your activity with Snyder people? Telling them they need to move on? Or do you promote anything positive?
I actually last night talked about last night we talked about the Project Justice League with
Twitter
Nicotina.
And all the, when you're complaining about the response, what's the context?
I think I retweeted the Project Justice League thing yesterday too, I believe. Okay. And I think that's a cool concept, and I want to see what they do with it. So I just was happy that Lightcast isn't involved, and I said that last night as well. What we're talking about here, though, is that there is a growing number of people who feel that this fandom has walked the plank, so to speak, and has gone into the toxic side. And it all does boil down to this. And I'm going to tell you exactly why it's this in a second, because there were some super chats I want to get to because people have been generous here. Fourth here says, for $10, thank you, Fourth, says, assholes on the internet. Twitter has long been a toxic platform for disagreement. Why should anyone give up on a movie they want over the ugliness of a few? But the thing is, though, it's not just the ugliness of a few. It's not just a few bad apples. It's what they've been seeing for months or years, perhaps. The people out there, they're like, if you don't fall in lockstep, you're an other. You're not one of us. You're a bad person. You're in it for the clout or for the money or for the attention or something. And that's what it boils down to. It's not just that Twitter is full of assholes, which they are, and they're fun to piss off, which it is. Yeah, but it's the people out there who aren't involved in that. Twitter. No, but that's me.
Yeah,
that's fucking me. I'm not a person with I'm not a person with 30
of the fandom.
I didn't say the majority. Okay. I never said the majority.
But what was your exact?
I said there's a growing number of people who are feeling this way because they are seeing this, and another growing amount of people on Twitter who are acting this way.
I would ask each person that feels that way to look at the context of your activity and what you're doing. Are you telling people what they should do with their fandom? Are you telling? I'm not justifying the response. I'm saying, what is your activity that gets to that point where you feel you're getting it? What are you doing? I didn't have to look far to find that support Autumn Snyder today.
And guess when that popped up, dude? That link started floating around like 2 days ago.
I see that all the time.
Today, that one,
I clicked on it because of your words yesterday. Yes.
And there are people who have donated, and I looked through the donation list, and it's had a few over the course of the past month. There was the Uche the thing from Uche brought in like $63,000. So good for him on that one and everything. But I've seen other people donate 500.
Fight has been a hashtag since the beginning.
And but no one, dude, come on, man. Like no one's using that anymore.
That's Us United. It's disgusting to go that route because that's what Zach promoted. And that's what a lot do. A lot watched this film in the theater like Enosh, our pal Enosh, and friends, and that money went to suicide prevention to see Zack Snyder's Justice League. There's a lot of people that are still doing good in the fandom if you look for it.
Sure, and
if you look for the bad, you're going to find the bad.
See, but the thing is, though, but when you ignore the bad and they start pushing for that, you are ignoring the bad. No, here's the thing, Max. You ignore the bad because you're still friends with someone like Snowdub, who leaked out information, damaging information.
When's the last time I collabed with Snowdub?
It's like collabing. He still pops up in your chat. And you still called him your friend.
No, I said I hated what he did to you.
But you still everybody. No, but dude, I
haven't talked to him in 2 months.
All I'm saying is it's like you push this toxic positivity. And that is something that you do because it's like anytime there's criticism of what's going on, you're like, no. Like we could tell you that they're literally telling a guy to go back to Africa. And you're like, well, I mean, it's terrible, but you downplay it.
I didn't downplay that. Where the hell did I Now you're crossing the line.
No, because when you,
what
I'm saying,
did I downplay that? I did not. That's false.
When RJ brought up earlier, you still try to deflect.
I didn't No, I did not deflect that one. I don't know about it. I said people may not know about it. It's the only thing I said. Because I didn't know about it.
But we've talked about it multiple times. I'm sure it was. I think they talked about it last night on your stream.
I don't. Yes, we did, and I still didn't research that. I was doing other things today. I still don't know who the. I don't follow Richard Newby. I'm interested in it because RJ mentioned it last night and today, and I don't watch. I watch your streams on the replay while I'm at work, but I don't catch the whole thing, so I didn't get that part. I'm saying, okay, so I never. You're lying when you say I downplayed it. I didn't downplay it. I feel like you're downplaying anytime there's a negative aspect of this whole thing. No, I did not. I said consider how you contribute to. I said I don't justify the response or the toxic response, but saying that this is only one-sided is not it's not accurate. A lot of this activity is trying to catch trolls or troll trolls, or your social media activity is poking fun at them and in being condescending and looking down on people. And that's I'm getting a lot of responses that they feel that way from people.
Well,
so
if people
does
feel
that justify the response? No, and I'm not downplaying the response. There is nowhere you could find me of downplaying toxic behavior. Nowhere. And I'm sick of hearing that. Nowhere. I did not downplay what said to Richard Newby because I don't know about it. I still need to research it. If I see any any Snyder Cut fans retweeting that and co-signing that, that's bullshit. And I've never downplayed that at all. So I'm not going to sit here. I came here in good faith to have a good conversation, but don't tell me that I downplay bad behavior and racist behavior and bigoted behavior because I do not. And I haven't talked with No Dub in months, and I still am mad at him about it, but I don't stop. I tried my hardest not to stop talking to people, and that's something that's good with my character, and that's something that maybe more people should try, because there's lots of disagreements on the internet, but stop talking to people and then constantly throwing shit at them is another problem in fandoms, because people still try to stay within the fandom and steer it positive, and then people just painting the picture of the fandom in a negative light. It gets very frustrating, and that's why you're getting the reaction. I'm believing this fandom shit. You're all shit. When people are trying to do the good thing, like people retweeting the ASFAP today, and yes, people are still donating. Is there a big event? No, there isn't, Jarbo. But people, if you look in the history, people are still donating.
No, they are. They are. I looked through the history and I saw several $100 donations.
That's kind of shitty to mention that when people still are donating, and to question people's motives and say that they're not in it for the right things anymore, or to imply that we want people to be tortured is really ridiculous. Saying we want them to have it be in a bad situation. No reasonable person wants Zach or Ben to go back if it's going to be detrimental to mental health. And we do promote everything.
See, but I know, because I feel, based upon what I've seen, that will be overlooked for the sake of getting what people want, because that's the other side of this argument too.
Opinion.
That is my opinion. Yeah, that is, and I said that. No,
I do. If you ask most Snyder Cut fans, they don't want it to be a bad situation, and that's maybe why it never might happen. Because even though they might want to work with Zach, they might not want to agree to his terms based on the history. He may have a long list of terms, and that might be what's holding it up too. You never know. They may never be able to give him full creative control, and that's what he's probably going to want if he ever comes back, and that might not ever happen.
Well, he won't ever get full creative control because that never happens.
Well,
right. Like, I see Garrel, he says, what about the shit herald at Brie Larson?
We don't know if this is the
by
real
toxic MCU people. I don't know.
Oh,
dude, I went to Jeremy himself and I asked him point fucking blank what he thinks his daughter is going to think about when she sees those videos, and how happy he is, how proud he is of the over 200 videos he has for simply attacking Brie Larson's just existence. So, no. I have gone to the person and told that to his fucking face. And that's why he won't talk to me, because guess what? I'll do it again. Mm-hmm. I'm really good at provoking a reaction when I need to get one to prove a fucking point. And that's my whole angle on it.
You provoke a lot of reactions.
I provoke a lot of reactions because I want people to fucking think. Because here's the other side of this too. This is the other side of this too. when we talk about the concept of what is restore the Snyderverse, it breaks down into multiple camps, and no one can figure out exactly what they want. Everyone ultimately wants the movies, fine, but people are going to compromise, and they're already compromising. They're already looking at alternatives. Are they going to continue it in graphic novel form? Could it be something that's done through an episodic show on HBO Max? Is it going to go theatrical? Is Zack Snyder going to do it? Do they care if Zack Snyder does it? Could it be a Zack Snyder produced movie with somebody else directing it? Yada, 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 yada. All of these things are out there. All of the shit's out there. When it came to release the Snyder Cut, it was one entity, a movie that we knew was filmed but not finished. That was it. It was a simple thing. It was one common goal in mind. And then now it's all over the damn place and no one can agree on what they want. So what happens, especially in these kind of movements, is people get frustrated. So they start latching out and attacking. Jason Kilar has now started blocking people because he's tired of it. A lot of other people who are working in that, they're also blocking people now. You'll find this running up on the DC Leaks subreddit. You'll see people talk about the shit all the fucking time, that they push these people too far on social media and they start blocking them. And then when they start blocking them, those people go, oh, well, I'm the victim. They're trying to shut me down because I just want Zack Snyder to come back and make another movie. Well, guess what? You got fucking Netflix where you're going to get 2 more, and who else knows what's going to happen.
And I support that. And the majority of, you'll see people that do restore the Snyderverse also have the hashtag of Army of the Dead and Rebel Moon in there. You see,
but do they really support those projects? Do they genuinely support those projects?
Yes, absolutely.
Seriously, because because every time something comes out with Zack, and it's always hashtag restore Snyderverse. It's never talking about Army of the Dead. It was the only time that people talk about Rebel Moon is when
it's always brought back to the Snyderverse.
I like you guys a lot. If you're not looking, if you don't see,
no, I do look, and I see because I follow a bunch of these
movies
people
come out. Then no one is saying don't do Army of the Dead or Rebel Moon.
I know nobody's saying that, but majority of these people haven't moved on from DC Snyderverse. When Zack said it himself in that article that the Snyderverse that he's doing at Netflix is maybe the only Snyderverse he may do. But if he would still like to do the DC Snyderverse, but the Snyderverse that he is going to do right now is at Netflix, and sometimes you gotta suck it up and deal with it.
I've got an honest question for you, Max. How many people need to walk away from the fandom before you accept that there's an issue?
I didn't say. Where did I say there wasn't an issue? I said there's still people that are being good and trying within it. And listen. I understand some of my friends have done things I disagree with. I've admitted that. I've talked with them behind the scenes. Should I stop talking to them when I interact with them and they're positive on my streams? I can't control what they do on there. Should I just block them? Give me the appropriate response. Because if I could do something that's positive with them, I think that helps a little bit. What can I do? I don't like gatekeeping. I've said this on record. You're a newer person. But you're also talking when someone says I'm leaving, this is crap, and you're talking down to them or about their hopes and dreams of their favorite thing ever, it's going to generate a response. This is also the internet. I'm not excusing the internet. I'm saying it is the internet. Realize what you're doing. A lot of times when you leave, you're like, you have to announce it. This is another thing that happens on social media. It's not just relegated to the Snyder Cut. When people need to leave something, they need to announce it, make a big showy display. I'm leaving because of this. I'm leaving because of this.
It's also this whole thing also with the whole Zack teases and stuff with his posts.
Yes. But that's not toxic behavior on Zack's part.
But what's the only thing people speculate about with those tease posts? No one ever
it goes back to the Snyderverse.
DC
and now he started teasing
but
that's why he came out and said I hope people at at Netflix take that as the Snyderverse. That's literally what if Zack were to actually come out and say, sorry guys, it's not happening right now, take it easy, I guarantee you his films would not be as successful because half of the fandom would jump ship and go, oh, he gave up hope and did all this other crap. That's where it's
your
headed.
Opinion. You don't know that.
No, that's basically factual based on what's happening right now. Dude, look at Twitter. Look at Vero. Look what happened today when he
Rebel Moon was
posted that
trending
thing.
the other
And
day.
yeah, but look what he posted
But
today, and somebody posted this big long thing of you need to not communicate with Dave Pena and all these other people. And it's like, and they're calling
even
like,
today,
oh my gosh.
I know Matt, you wanted to get to this, but there's people basically shitting on Dave Pena, Wonder Meg, and all this, like on Vero. Like, just read that. Read what that is saying.
Thank you.
Read what that's saying and realize just how toxic and bad the shit can get. Where you're having somebody message
I'm not
Zack
giving
Snyder
any
and say,
excuse for that.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are.
This is someone that's obviously warped. I don't like this. No, I don't like calling out other people in the community, and that this is I mean, also, if we actually care about these people, that a lot of you in this panel claim that you really care about these people, and this is why you're concerned about all this. Maybe ask what they want. Do they want us to keep talking about this? Because I haven't talked about the Nerd Queen situation, because I did make a video. Enosh covered it perfectly, and constantly bringing up doesn't help them. I know there is a part in the fandom that is against them, and that's not cool.
And nobody.
I don't like what they tried to. I don't like
bro,
that they tried to cancel them. But a lot of people saying that they're concerned about them. Have you spoke with Nerd Queens directly to see what they want? To see what I know you have, Saggy. I'm saying to see if they want us to keep bringing this up.
Some people don't think I have. That I'm so misinformed that I don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
So I'm gonna just say this shit is so old. Like, if y'all can't see or hear what people like your friends, all these people, like some of the people are starting to see. Like, I literally just had a tweet today of somebody saying like the fans are just literally killing it for me. But when we say that, you guys are like, well, there are still some good people, right? But we're not talking about the good people. We're talking about the ones that are killing it for us. Why can't we speak? But you guys have every right to speak and say, "Oh, but you guys are blaming it." But it feels like that. It feels like that.
No, I said, look at the context of your activity. What was your stream, Saggy? It was to catch a troll, and you did. And I caught
a bunch of them, and it worked.
Yes. Okay.
It brought up the conversation, but then what happened? And we were fighting. Everyone was fighting over it. It's stupid. Yeah. It's a freaking movie. Yeah. Listen, I'm sorry, but is Zack Snyder paying your goddamn bills? Is he? No, he's entertaining.
It's more. It's even though the criticism is that it's just a movie, it's more than a movie to a lot of people, especially the angle of losing a family member.
Glad people are touched by it, but at the same time, all good intentions that have positive results have people come in and taint it to make it more bad. Like, I'm sorry, it happens in every single fandom.
Yeah, and there's good in every single fandom too.
And that is what we are talking about. That is what we're trying to combat. Those tainted, toxic people that are making it horrible for other people. So how about this? How about the people you sit there and say that the movie did good for these people? How about the fans who are literally bullying other people just for having a difference of opinion? Their mental health doesn't matter?
I didn't say that.
I didn't say you did, but my point is that you're comparing tomatoes and potatoes right now. Like, I'm glad that this movie and this man makes everyone feel good. No one's saying that you guys shouldn't feel good about these movies. But you're also ignoring the fact that some of these people who are so hardcore fans of him are part of the problem. They are attacking people and making them feel bad for even getting questioned.
Have talked about this behind the scenes.
Well, behind the scenes, they doing shit for anyone. I'm sorry.
Well, listen. What is... Just like there was another situation within the Snyder fandom that I never made a stream about because it was extremely personal stuff. If I thought bringing up the Nerd Queen situation would help at all right now, I would. But I don't like bringing up that stuff because it's not going to go well, and there is problems there, and it's not getting fixed anytime soon. What can I do? In my opinion, I don't believe constantly bringing it up is helping anything. Like, for example, there was another stream talking about it. I disavow any cancellation attempts on anyone in this community and retweeting cancellation. And the actual people that started that, you know who they were?
No, I don't.
I think it was potentially, if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. But I think it was the Fatal J Abu Nas angle. Okay, and I think
they absolutely those guys absolutely tried to do that
if we're
stuff.
talking about not calling out our friends, there's some people I don't know.
Well, okay, it's I like that you say that, Max, and I actually want to address something real quick.
Listen, I do not like when that happened. Me and Zod, we're good now, but we were not good at that time. We talked about it. He's still my friend. I was on his stream the other day. I don't like people he's friends with. What can I do? I can only engage with him on positive stuff, explain my position, and constantly bringing up things that happened that weren't me involved, and it's not going to help. I think the only thing we can do is help. I want to reach out to the Nerd Queens and say, what can we do to get back to us united in that? And they were planning another Zach convention. I don't know if that's still happening. They'll probably plan another Justice Con next year. Those are positive things we could look forward to. I think we need more of that right now. I do agree with that.
A Zach convention? Are you fucking
yeah, it's Justice Con. They've done a couple of them.
No, they're actually doing a Zach.
Are they doing another Snyder Con? Another Snyder Con?
They were planning another
Snyder
Con.
That's great, and I think that's great. But I also think Zach has already stated that he doesn't, he condones, like all the toxic behavior.
Right,
but,
he did
these are people who claim that, but these are people who claim to be fans who are literally not listening and doing the opposite, and those are the people we're talking about. We're not talking about other people. We're talking about the ones that are actually doing it. But I feel like some of the people who are still fans and stuff that aren't part of that toxicity are taking it personal.
I love all of you, but some of you have made a show of trying to catch the trolls, and then you're saying, look, I caught trolls.
And I caught trolls,
Yeah. And then that's
you also
everyone.
have people saying I'm not toxic.
You have
I
any activity where you're trying to promote the positive part because you have this much criticism about the negative aspects of the Snyder Cut.
I'm a goddamn drama channel. That's what drama channels
I'm not
do.
criticizing you for being a drama channel, but then you're saying this is the majority of what we see. I'm asking you, what's your activity with the Snyder fandom?
And it is the majority of what I see.
Because that's where you engage with it. There is a lot of positive stuff in the fandom.
See, this is where we always butt heads, and I love you, but I'm gonna say this for the final time. The only reason why I even got involved in that is because I saw the stuff that was being commented on to Matt Jarbo, talking about his kids, bringing up his past, calling him a racist, all these toxic behaviors of people who are mad because they didn't like Matt's opinion, right? Again, if they don't like Matt's opinion, then attack him for his opinion. Don't attack his kids. Don't attack his girlfriend. Don't attack his personal life because you don't like his opinion.
No, and I disavow that every time.
And that's where I interjected. And those
when
were the
me
people that I targeted.
And Snowdub had a problem, you weren't too happy with me at that point, and I was defending Matt.
But
back in the Snowdub situation.
Right.
I've been consistent defending Matt against this type of stuff.
And no one here is saying you're not.
We're not here to talk about any like that specific stuff. What
Right.
My whole point for this was to talk about how the restore movement is not cohesive in any metric, and how it is falling apart because there is not a unified message. And there's not.
I see my pal Enosh down there.
Yeah, I invited Enosh in because he thinks you're outnumbered, and I want to make sure there's fair representation. I do.
He has gone to events where great Snyder fans.
Not cereal. It's creamy chicken.
I think Austin also may have gone to some of these. I'm not sure.
I
Austin,
like creamy chicken noodle soup.
Where
That's
they
actually
watch
fire.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, that benefits suicide prevention consistently. They go to all these events. They do contribute in the positive stuff. He's had Dave Pena on. He's had what's the other guy's name?
Chris
Swenson on recently to try to steer it more positive. So it's very frustrating for people that stay within the fandom that try to fight for it. This is going to happen in every fandom in the future as well because it is the internet. It's not an excuse, but there are good things if you search for it. That's the only message I could give to you all. If you search for it in your activity, you can find the good.
Rel, I love you. But here's the thing I'm going to say to you, Rel. The alleged Move On crew are not telling the Snyder Cut people to go kill themselves. They are not the ones telling you guys that you guys should off yourselves.
I haven't seen anyone in the Move On crowd tell somebody to go back to Africa.
Right. I've never seen the people in the Move On crew you claim saying the nasty stuff. But you know who I have seen do that? People who have restored the Snyderverse in their bios. The same people who are the ones attacking Matt Jarbo.
And if they have, I will gladly call that out. I
reached out to Mercury, and he claims that was not him. I don't know if that's being truthful.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was the Mercury person.
Okay, you don't know who that was then. If you don't know it was Mercury, you don't.
I didn't say it was though, Max. I never said it was. I told you the accounts that came in. Enosh was there watching the stream and saw the names of the people that were in there. Enosh called me on the phone when I was on the stream talking to Enosh.
So if it's not Mercury, then it's someone that wants you to make them that you think that they're Mercury.
Max, my point is these are the people who are interacting with Jarbo, who are leaving nasty comments to Jarbo. That is when I came in and said something to those people. Immediately after that, I did a live stream, and those people were repeating those same stuff that they said to me on Twitter in my chat. So I knew who the accounts were, and when I clicked on their bios, hashtag restore the Snyderverse, 1,000 followers, 100-something followers. I know the people who came in my chat. They were part of the movement. Or at least they had the hashtags. They were followed by some of you guys. Some of you guys, they followed you guys. And I'm not blaming you guys. I'm not saying it's your responsibility. I'm not saying you know this. But that's what the point I was trying to make. That is literally all it was. I know you guys don't support it. I know you guys don't condone it. But at the same time, to sit there and tell me, well, they're not that's gatekeeping. You can't dictate bad people not being part of a fandom. There are bad people in every fandom. You don't get to say, well, they're not real fans. They're fans. They're just toxic part of it. Go ahead, Enosh. I know you want to say something. Hi. You done with your soup? It looked tasty. Did you put some seasoning in it? Was there some paprika, some cayenne pepper?
It was seasoned very nicely.
Did you put some adobo in there? Because adobo is good in soup.
I'd like to ask a question to Enosh. Have you seen the positive side of the fandom be consistent with the suicide prevention this year and the event setup? We haven't had a big event lately, but there's been consistent support.
Well, look, as far as the hashtag restore the Snyderverse, there are a lot of us who absolutely support the idea of restoring the Snyderverse. But one, we're not dicks. Two, we're not obsessed. Three, we love Zack Snyder's other stuff too, so we're not the people who are just going to run and go someplace else if Zack Snyder one day says, "Hey guys, it's done. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for everything. You guys have been great." You know, we're not a bunch of jerks. We're not going to just hightail it and you know, turn on Zack because we actually liked Army of the Dead. I loved Army of Thieves. I'm looking forward to the cartoon. I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon. I'm looking forward to the other project that he's got because I liked his stuff. I've liked Zack Snyder's stuff. There are two sides to this fandom, just like there's two sides or three sides or four sides sometimes to some different fandoms. And the thing is that the best way I could put it is if you're a wrestling fan and you remember the 90s, there was a faction called the NWO. And the NWO came in and it took over the WCW. It was a plan by WCW to try to get back at WWE. They basically took all their old wrestlers. They took Hulk Hogan. They turned him into a bad guy, which was a shocker. They brought him in. They brought in all these old classic wrestlers, but they turned them all bad, and they just ran rampant over the entire company and took it all over, right? But at some point, they got everything they wanted. They were basically in charge of the entire thing, and it got boring. It got old because they got what they wanted. But then what they did was they split that faction up into two factions. So there was the NWO Black and White, and the NWO Red and Black. That's what I feel. If anybody's a wrestling fan, that's what I feel has happened with the Snyderverse. Yes, I agree with Matt. During the Snyder Cut movement, all those people were together. The good, bad, the ugly, the everybody, right? Because we were all focused on one thing, was get the Snyder Cut made. Have the Snyder Cut. We wanted the Snyder Cut. We were all supporting. We were literally turning a blind eye. And sometimes I don't think we even knew because we didn't really all know each other that well. I don't think some of those people knew, but some people were not turning a blind eye. Some people were dealing with some of this stuff even years ago. And the people who were dealing with that side of the fandom that is doing things like this, like what happened to Saggy, which is absolutely atrocious. People that are dealing now with this. If you come on a stream or you tweet something telling somebody to kill themselves and you're using the hashtag restore the Snyderverse, you don't get it. You don't understand what you're even talking about. You don't know what you're doing because that was never, it goes absolutely against the very fundamentals of why the Snyderverse was created, why the Snyder Cut was a thing, because people came together for Zack Snyder's family. That being said, the thing is that there are those people. Now, people like the Nerd Queens have been dealing with it. Dave Pena's been dealing with it. Wonder Meg's been dealing with it. All those people. A few months ago, when I drew a line in the sand and I said, listen, those people, those Snyder bros out there who are doing these things are toxic, are bad, and I side with the Nerd Queens. I side with the people who aren't these crazy, obsessed people saying horrible things about other people. You notice, like, all this stuff happens. Everybody on that side, they're not rushing to get involved in all this drama and everything. They let those people look like morons, look like idiots, make themselves look stupid, and they've risen above it. They're literally focused on the important things. They're focused on their lives. They're focused on the new movies that are coming out, right? They talk about it. Dave Pena talks about it all the time. Wonder Meg talks about it all the time. The Nerd Queens talk about it all the time. I've talked about it. Chris Swenson. Look, Chris Swenson, he talks about the Snyderverse when it comes to DC stuff, and he talks about the stuff that Zack is doing over at Netflix. There are those of us who have crossed over to a different place where we're not obsessed with that. If Zack comes out tonight, if Zack somehow gets this link and comes on here and says, hey, guys, I love you, but we're not going to pursue this, it is not the end of the world for me. It is not the end of the world for other people. Would I be disappointed? Yes. Any of us on that side have been saying for a good amount of time is that we just still see ways that it could happen. Not that it will happen, not that it's inevitable, not that people have signed the dotted line, not any of that stuff, just that, you know what, it's okay to like it and still want it. All those people on the other side that are trying to sell that false hope, that's wrong. Those people over there is trying to tell people that it's happened, that Zack has already signed the dotted line. They don't know that. As far as the little Easter eggs and teases that Zack gives, I would push back at Caden only to say, and I think it was Caden who said it. Was it you, Caden? You were talking about
yeah,
why
Caden's here.
People keep talking about the DC stuff instead of the Netflix stuff, is because the stuff that Zack has been posting has been DC related. On Thanksgiving, the infamous turkey thing, had DC Comics in it. He just released this other picture, which I think is just stupid that people are going on this. There's a green light, so Batfleck has been greenlit.
Batfleck greenlit, or the green greenlit is been released.
I mean, listen. I am willing, like others, to actually call things what they are and say, look, that is silly. Look, if you want to think that, I guess that's your own personal opinion. But you're not going to hear that from me, and you're not going to come on my program and have me support that, because I don't believe that. Sometimes a picture's a picture, and sometimes Zack does tease things. There could be things going on that we don't know about it, but you can't report that as fact, because it's not fact. One day, we're going to wake up, and we're going to know one way or the other. I don't know when that day is. Until that day, I'm just tired of losing friends over something that I feel is the silliest thing in the world to be fighting over. I'm tired of people lumping me in, and it's probably why Max feels the way that he does about this too, is that I have said, and I was on the stream when Geralt and Mercury, you know, that night of the infamous turkey thing. I was on this channel with Saggy, with Matt. I think RJ was here. And I was right alongside you. I was agreeing with Matt. I was agreeing with RJ. I was agreeing with Saggy. That is absolutely toxic. You know, saying this kind of stuff, going down that route is absolutely toxic. What hurts is when friends start talking about the whole of it just because they're tired. And I get it. You guys are tired of talking about the Snyder stuff. Okay, then let's all just stop. Then just stop talking about it.
I'm not. I enjoy talking about it.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying let those of us who want to report just any news that does come out, or just talk about like the stuff that we want to talk about, like the stuff that we love, you know, and whatever, leave it at that, and just leave all that other stuff alone. Okay?
I'm confused.
And
When
then
have we ever hopped on any of your streams is like, oh God, I should talk about that guy getting stopped? Like no one
I'm
has
not
done
saying you have. I'm not saying you have. All I'm saying is that you, my friends, who don't particularly believe that the Snyderverse is going to continue, you keep saying, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Then just don't talk about it. Don't talk about the positives. Don't talk about the negatives. If you're really sick of Zack Snyder stuff, that's fine. But I've heard my friends on this channel, Saggy, you even said it once. Like, and I know it's probably in jest. I hope it's in jest. But like, people are starting to get mad at Zack Snyder over stuff that's like not Zack Snyder's fault.
Yes.
There's people who are idiots. There's people who are absolute morons in
I
every fandom.
never said I was mad at Zach. I literally said just hearing his name makes me angry now. And even though I know it's not his fault, it's not. And I didn't blame him. It's not his fault. But at the same time, it's like hearing something repetitively over and over. You start having resentment for that thing. It doesn't necessarily mean
you're probably
I hate the man.
People are probably annoyed that aren't Zack Snyder fans of hearing it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I get that.
I absolutely get it. I absolutely get it. But you know, I'm just saying, unfortunately though, when those of us who are just trying to be positive and do positive things, we feel like
we're hitting our head against the wall. No, I'm getting pissed off because I'm getting fucking tired of people saying that we can't talk about shit, but you guys fucking can. It's fucking bullshit.
What are you
I'm
talking
seeing in the
about,
chat.
Maggie?
I'm seeing in the chat. When you guys sit there and say, well, let us talk about it. Let us talk about it. Why can you guys talk about it, but we can't talk about our thoughts on it? That's not fucking right, and that's not fair.
Saggy. It's
not. No,
Saggy,
that's what I'm seeing
calm
in the chat,
down.
and that's what I'm hearing. No, because it's
Saggy,
bullshit. It's
Saggy,
bullshit. You
Saggy,
guys can talk about
You're
stuff,
the one
but we
saying you
can't
don't
have our
want to talk
opinion.
about it anymore. If you're saying you don't want to talk about it anymore, either you want to talk
But
about
but here's the thing. If I say I don't want to talk about it and I have to talk about it, I'm a fucking person. I can do whatever the fuck I want. If I want to talk about something,
Saggy.
I can. Whether I say I don't want to talk about it,
Saggy,
if I say one day I don't want to talk about it,
because what have I said
if I say one day I want to, I don't want to talk about something, and then tomorrow I'm not yelling at you. I'm just yelling. I'm just yelling. I'm not yelling at you.
Okay,
but one day
you and I were having a conversation. Screw the chat. You and I were having a conversation.
If one day I say I don't want to talk about something. But Enosh, if one day I say I don't want to talk about something, and then tomorrow I feel like talking about it, I'm going to talk about it.
Look, and I have told
don't sit there and say,
all
well,
of you.
I thought you didn't want to talk about it. Yeah, yesterday I didn't want to talk about it. Today I happen to want to talk about it.
Okay. Calm down.
If
I need to add one point here.
If you all want to go after those people who are the toxic ones, I support you. I back you up. I will be on that stream. We can name names. We can actually try to point out the facts that are true about those people who act that way, who do the things that they do like that. All I'm asking you as both your friend and a Snyder Cut fan and a Snyderverse fan, somebody who just hopes that it'll happen, somebody who sees ways that it could happen, all I'm asking you is, when you talk about
right now,
make that
this
distinction.
Chat, screw
the chat.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all are
All
gross.
I'm asking you
I'm done
is
with
to
this
make that distinction.
conversation. Y'all enjoy your not existing movie and fucking fans, whatever. I don't care.
What
Y'all can
in
go
the
fuck
world?
yourselves. Y'all have a great rest of your fucking night.
And that's where you get some of the reactions when you talk like that.
See,
I love Saggy, but I also want to say this is what you look what happened to Saggy when someone told her.
I want to publicly, before we go 1 second, 1 second further. First of all, Matt, I want to apologize to you. I was wrong. I went off on something the other day that I had no business going off on. I was upset about some other things, and there's no excuse for it. Matt, man to man, I apologize to you. Matt, I appreciate you. I have grown to love you as a friend, and listen, I don't know, at some point you and I have been back and forth at each other lately, and I want to squash that right now. I apologize to you. I ask you to forgive me for my part in that, and just say, look, I'm sorry, man, because I went off on some things the other day that I just saw, and I was frustrated, and there's just been a lot of frustration lately, but it's no excuse, and I shouldn't have said what I said, and I shouldn't have done what I did, and I apologize to you for that, because I don't want that. I don't want animosity between you and me. I don't want there to even be tension between you and me. I enjoy talking to you. Some of the best conversations I've had in the last 2 years being online have been with you, and I don't like that feeling, and I don't want that anymore, because I appreciate you. We may be on differing sides of this topic and of this discussion, and we may not even agree on things that have been said or done or whatever. But the point is, man, I appreciate you and I like you, and that supersedes everything else to me. And so I'm just tired of, and I even apologize. I apologized personally to RJ yesterday, but publicly, RJ was on that stream. I know it made RJ feel uncomfortable because I was saying things. And so I am very, very sorry for that. Look, I'm tired of arguing about all this. I love Saggy with all my heart, but we got to stop getting all emotional about, I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it at some point. The point is that you can talk about anything that you want. Throw all those people under the bus. I will literally pick up my spear and my shield, and I think Max feels the same way.
Well, I need to say something that was
we'll
a
go
reveal.
to war over those things that are toxic and those are bad. All we ask is just that, if you are talking about it, just think about those of us who are trying to do some positive things in that community. We may not be supported by.
I need to say a revealing moment that just happened.
Meg,
I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about Saggy while she's gone. But you have to understand, when people told her that they don't, what to do and what she should talk about, how did she respond? Now treat Snyder people like people, and understand that some of the people that say they're getting bad responses, we're telling people what to do. So what happened when you told Saggy what to do just there? I'm just explaining. I'm not talking bad about her. You see the reaction she gave when someone told her what to do with her speech. She did not like that. That is what a lot of you are doing to Snyder fans.
I think Max and I. And
I'm not trying to talk bad about her. I'm just saying
you and I will gladly. I mean, I know I will. I can't speak for Max, but I think I know Max's heart on the subject. Is that, look, I'll fight all day alongside anybody who's speaking the truth, and we can go to war with those people who are doing this, because some of us have already been in that battle. I've been in that war for about 5-6 months now, and I feel so torn in between, because I feel like those people on that side of the fandom, they've tried to act like I'm not even a Snyder fan, so I'm not Snyder enough for those people. And then I got the people on the other end who act like I'm obsessed with him, and I literally haven't done anything, like even done a show about Zack Snyder or Snyderverse stuff or whatever, unless there's something in the news. But that's been so rare and so in between lately. So it's I kind of feel like I'm just in the middle here, and everybody's attacking me. And when you start feeling like everybody just doesn't like you and you're too much for everybody, it's well, what am I supposed to do? But like I said, the biggest point for me is like I said, I'm sorry for everything that's been lately, and I just you know, I don't know if I could go back to anything, it would be right then around when the Snyder Cut came out, because we were all friends. People weren't worried about their platforms. People weren't worried about you know, trying to take down other YouTubers. I mean, you know, and all this stuff. You know, there's always been those people. I mean, you know, the fights with Geeks and Gamers or Doomcock or whatever. You know, but I just don't like seeing it out of friends. And unfortunately, I've lost some people that I have thought were my friends in the Snyder Cut movement. And it has nothing to do with Zack Snyder. It has nothing to do. If we all had our way, we would all get these movies that we all like. Except for the fact that some people have gotten egos. And some people have gotten jealous. Look, when it comes to the Nerd Queens and Wonder Meg and Dave Pena and even Chris, there's just a bunch of butthurt, jealous people out there. And actually, I'd ask somebody to send me whatever it was you guys were looking at earlier. I was on my phone. I couldn't read whatever.
I do want to also say
all I heard was that there was something horrible said about Meg. And the thing is, that's what I've been trying to say for a while now. Like, Meg and the Nerd Queens, you guys have no idea. You guys watch YouTube videos and you see stuff that's going on and everything. But there are other people.
Well,
there's a guy right now that I want to have on my channel that organized you. Max, you talked about, like, you know, BVS Comes Home, right? And you talked about when I went to go see Zack Snyder's Justice League in the theater. Hold on a second. The Zack Snyder's Justice League in the theater, where they raised $2,500 for suicide prevention there. And BVS, they were raising money for suicide prevention. And like, those events are still going on. Everything that happens is not on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is a small portion of it. I know that we all think that everything's on YouTube, but the reality is that, like, some of these people are doing things regionally. Some people are doing things in other ways. Like Abdul's become a really good friend of mine. And yet there are people that if I just mentioned Abdul's name, or if I showed a picture of me with Abdul, which I did, I put it on my Facebook and my Twitter, but these people come at me because there were literally people making fake accounts of Abdul, attacking themselves as Abdul to make that dude look bad. There were people making sexual assaultive comments about his pregnant wife. Okay? Online, on Twitter, and everything. These have been things that have been happening long before I was involved, long before any of us, like, at this table were involved. Like, this stuff has been going on forever. So that side of the fandom has been there for a long time. You know, the thing is that they're, I think the big thing is that they
constantly bringing up that drama doesn't necessarily help those people being impacted by it. We say we think we're helping them, but, you know, is it going to help bringing up the Nerd Queens drama every time? No.
And the Nerd Queens are done. Listen. Yeah. At some point, I you know, for the Nerd Queens, it's your own mental health, right? Yeah. Like, they dealt with that for a long time, and then they decided the best way for them to deal with it is to walk away from it, because they did not want to have to put up with being online every day. Listen, I took one day a few months ago and I started getting attacked by people and everything. And I tried to answer people, and I tried to like deal with people on a rational basis. Right. And I was exhausted by the end of the day, mentally exhausted on one day. That's because that's what good people do. Good people in fandoms, not even just fandoms, but in life, they try to deal with people in a rational way. You're talking about irrational people on that side of the fandom, and the way that they act and the way that they think and the things that they're doing. All I'm saying as a fan is, please don't lump me in with those people. Please don't say things that make people who come to my channel think, well, because Enosh likes Zack Snyder, Enosh must be like a part of these weirdos and these crazy people who are like doing these things and saying these things. Just make the distinction. You know, make the distinction that here are these people that happen to like Zack Snyder, but these people are obsessed with Zack Snyder. These people are saying and doing these horrible things, but then, you know, they're good people who just like the movies and like the stuff, like Enosh, like Max, like, who would never say something like that to Saggy, who would fight somebody who, you know, like, I would say something like that to Saggy in front of me. Okay? Because you'll see what you'll get. Okay? I'm a husband, I'm a father. You don't say those kind of things to people. You know, so that's that's venomous, that racist stuff. Again, that was people literally making up fake accounts, fake things, and then trying to attribute those things to the nerd
Unfortunately,
queens. Can I tell you something about the nerd queens? Cole and Nana have become close friends. Cole and Nana have become close friends of mine and Tiffany's over the last few months. There is not a racist bone in those girls' body. Those girls would fight racism in any way, shape, or form that they could. They are some of the most inclusive people that I have ever met in my life. All that stuff. No. There and you know what? And Jess, I think there is a difference. There's a difference between these wackos and just people who are passionate about it. I love Man of Steel. I love BVS. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. I am passionate about that because those are the versions of the film that I most connect with. But I love DC. I'm gonna go see The Flash. I liked Suicide Squad. I'm gonna go see the Shazam again. I'm gonna go see Black Adam. I'm not one of these crazy people out here who are like saying that if you go see the Flash you're a racist. That's
that's kind of the whole point though, Enosh. It's kind of the whole point is that what we have seen in this last week and the kind of stuff that like I know RJ and I talk about and others talk about.
Well, I was just gonna say like that's where some of my frustration comes from, and this is not leveled at you, Enosh or Max. I know you guys probably don't know about it, but as someone me, I see a lot of stuff, and I that's what I do. I like doing research. This is the kind of person I am.
Sure.
And when what happened to Richard Newby, and I saw some people make an accusation that I'm trying to weaponize what happened to him. That's not the case at all. I'm not trying to weaponize what happened to a man whatsoever, but I feel like it's my responsibility as someone with the platform to address toxic elements and stuff and to support somebody when they are being thrown racist bigotry, like Go Back to Africa, or they're calling somebody a monkey and this kind of like really horrible stuff.
Absolutely.
And my frustration comes from the fact that sadly there are individuals who have downplayed this, people who I would consider to be influencers in the community or people with large platforms on social media who are lambasting Richard, saying he's making stuff up or that he's only doing this because he wants to in with the Hollywood crowd, yada, 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 yada. And it's disappointing when the only person I've seen really speak up about anything is Meg. And Meg's a sweetheart, and Meg absolutely calls out stuff out when it needs to be called out. Mm-hmm. But that's part of my frustration, too, where I wish more people would speak up. But I feel like a lot of people are too afraid to because there is this toxic element, and they don't want to be lambasted by a large subsection of that fandom.
Can I offer you a slightly different take on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There are some people who are on the internet to go after things. And there are some people who are not on the internet to go after things. That's not their thing. Okay?
No, and I get that. I just wish that at least just a nice message or something, like reach out like Meg did or something. I'm not saying to call out people by name.
That's fine, but you understand that not everybody is equipped to do that, RJ. Not everybody is equipped to call out everybody and do it. Look, some people are in every battle, there's going to be some people who throw their support in, but they're not equipped. Like if you're in a physical battle and you're not physically equipped to go join that battle, you're probably not going to go join the physical army. You know what I mean? You're not going to go join the physical fight, but you have other ways that you can support it behind the scenes. Not everybody who's on YouTube, man, is equipped to go to war or to go to battle with those types of people. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, whatever. And some people, it's not that they're like condoning it or just ignoring it. It's that they are not the people to do it. People like Matt, for example, Matt is quick-witted, man. Matt has a strong mind. Matt communicates well. Matt is able to do that. That's why Matt should be doing something like that. RJ, I told you the other day that like I've really been impressed with the way that you in the last few months, dude, you're one of the most educated people that I've seen on this platform. Like I've seen you come up from literally meeting you as just somebody who watched my channel and and doing a call-in thing to now I look at you as a regular who's on my channel that I appreciate I appreciate the fact that you do your research and that you're ready to answer something and that you things about the topics that you're talking about. And so somebody like you, if you want to go after something like that, That's fine. Go after it. Do that. But I don't think that we can expect everybody on the platform or everybody in the fandom to be the same equipped to do those kind of things. Not everybody's going to do that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, you may be looking for those things. Half of the things that I find out about, like, you know, I go after stuff too sometimes as I know stuff. You know, we do 2 cents on nonsense. But even 2 cents on nonsense, like, I'm not trying to nail people against the wall. We do that in fun, even though Doomcock, I think, is a complete, you know, an utter, you know, garbage thing. The thing is that, dude, I'm not looking to get my feet wet in every battle. But if I hear something, I absolutely will say something about it. You know what I mean?
No, and I understand that.
I don't want to make my. But also, I know the people who come to my channel, they like different things. And you know, even last year when I went through the whole thing with Andy Signor and Jody, I had somebody that I respect very, very much, who is still a huge supporter of my channel, is probably the ear that I lend myself to the most when it comes to my channel. Okay, this person talked to me in a private StreamYard session and said, "Hey, I understand why you're going after Andy Signor. I understand why you're going after Jody. Do your thing. Accomplish what you're trying to accomplish there. But then come back to what you're good at and what you're doing. Don't make that your platform, that your whole platform is going after people and getting into internet drama and doing things, because not everybody is here for that."
No, and I understand.
And you know what? I took that to heart.
And I don't try looking for it personally. I don't try looking for that personally, but because as someone who wants to be more involved, I do follow a variety of people,
and that's
it comes up. And like even when I mute and block people, sometimes the stuff still comes up, and I try to ignore it as best I can. But again, there is that instinct in me to where if I see something bad, I feel an instinct to try and help others. It's just the way I am. Like I want to be there to support people who are experiencing negativity.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, dude. All I'm saying is like, don't just categorize though everybody who doesn't like attack it. First of all, don't assume that they're equipped to go do it, and then don't assume that they're just ignoring it. You know, sometimes people just don't know everything that you know. You know, so like if I hear about some Snyderverse person doing something like that, like I didn't even know the thing that happened to Saggy. I didn't know who did that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what that was about. I had to find out about what happened, but by the time I found out, everybody already knew. Like, you know, I mean, like today, like this week, for example, I've been out of the loop for everything. I haven't even seen the Rebel Moon stuff. Like, you know, like I had to watch the Batman trailer the other night live on the air because I had not seen it, because I spent today 12 hours painting, moving stuff, you know, doing a bunch of stuff for the project that I'm doing right now. And so like, I'm not on the internet all day long, and I'm not looking for all that stuff. So anything that happened today, last 4 days, I don't know about that. So all I'm saying is like, give people the benefit of the doubt. If you know they're good people, don't just think that they're just like letting it go, or like, oh, well, they didn't say anything about it on their channel, so they must like be okay with it, because that's a bunch of assumption there.
Well, I don't think it's ever an okay thing. All right. But I come at it from the old Gamergate days, where we didn't say anything when the hard right wing came in, when the alt-right came in, you know, and a lot of us were very center left politically, wanting ethics and games journalism. Sure. And as a result of losing that control, and not saying anything for fear of reprisal from the community, a lot of people left, and it just became, you know, it's not really listed as anything good anymore. It never was, but at least there was a narrative that one could argue back. So now there's not. Yeah. That's my take here. When I look at this stuff and I'm like, all right, you guys are, you know, they're not like, it's not everybody. And I get, oh, we lost Austin. I get that. Thanks for coming by, Austin. Really appreciate it. You know, the whole idea here is what I wanted to do with just this thing tonight was to talk about where it began and where I see it going. and just put a bookend on it because I'm done. I'm so over this shit because it's
I'm just tired of fighting, and like I said,
I'm tired of the yeah.
And the thing is, like, I will admit to everyone in the chat and just publicly, if I've ever said anything in the last couple of days or just over this entire thing that you felt I was coming at it from an unfair point of view, then I do apologize. There's probably better ways I could have handled myself in this entire situation, and because I'm an emotional person too, I make mistakes. We're all human. I mean, Enosh, you could attest to that. We had that conversation on the phone. It's just. I could have probably approached
wrong with admitting that,
and I could have approached things differently in the way I've talked about stuff or handled things. If I've laughed at stuff I probably shouldn't have laughed at, then I do apologize. If I've said something that I probably shouldn't have said, I do apologize. But it's it's tough. I feel like there's just been a lot of stress, especially the last month. It's kind of like escalated things, and I feel like we all kind of know why. Just stuff just been going on, and just it's heightened everyone's emotions, and obviously. Doesn't make it okay, but it's just, I feel like we've all kind of just, reached a boiling point, and we're trying to like simmer it down a bit and move away, or not walk away, but put a capstone on it. So hopefully we can move on to better stuff later. So,
well, see, I like Zeno here, who's been like throwing shade all night and whatever. Says I'm over it until the next time. Nah, man, I want to go back to like focusing my attention on, like the terrible takes that Nerdrotic puts out. Or that Doomcock puts out, the stuff that is very heavily laced with racism and sexism and bigotry, all that kind of stuff. That's fun to call out. This is the kind of stuff where it's like, look, I get accused all the time of being like, I was shit posting today a little bit, and people were like, "You're just an asshole. You never like Zack Snyder, blah blah blah." And I'm like, you guys know I'm like fucking with you, right?
Also, Enosh missed it, but there was somebody who was in Max's chat who made a video about me. Saying I am the child of you and Matt, that you two are my parents. So,
yes, it's called. What is it called? Like Son of Jarbo or whatever. Son of Jarbo.
It's called the Son of Jarbo.
Yeah.
Really?
It was actually very fun. Oh, I'm just saying, like I said,
hold on, wait. It was Son of Jarbo, wasn't Son of Enosh. I found you first.
Yeah, but I'm the one that planted you with the seed. So let's be fair.
I'd rather go back to like talking about like I don't even know like anything else really like
really
stuff,
it's like the Book of Boba Fett was a fun conversation last night.
Yeah.
Did you even get to watch that, Enosh?
Yeah, I got to watch. I had to watch it in 2 parts because I fell asleep. I fell asleep watching it last night. That's how exhausted I've been. Like I wasn't even going to come into. I'm glad I did because more important than anything that has to do with Snyder, I'm glad. And I hope you accept my apology, Matt.
Look, I've been edgy myself, and everything else, and it's like, so yeah, I've overreacted to a few things, and everything, and there's been like, we've had our back and forth and everything else, and animosity, and so I do want to squash that too. I'm tired of it, and that's kind of another point of this. I'm like, look, move past all this shit. There's bigger fish to fry. My take on it is I don't. Whoa! Can we go back to hating on Ghostbusters 2? No, 2016, absolutely. 2, eat my ass. You cannot tell me that Bobby Brown song wasn't fire. All right. Anyway, no. All I'm saying is like, look, the way I view this, like, I want there to be more. I view it as realistically it's not the case, and I've stated my reasoning for multiple times because I feel that there was an original. Very simple goal. We knew something existed. It had been filmed. It just needed to be finished, and that was that. And then now it's this. Is it going to be a continuation? Is it going to be a graphic novel? Is it going to be a motion comic? All of these things. And as a result of that, the people that are the diehards, because I saw people today that were just like massively attacking, because there's been a few people that have been like, I'm done. I'm out. I can't deal with this anymore. And they post it and they get lambasted with like, you were never a real fan. You were just doing this for the clout, blah, 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 blah. Zodrider has said that. I don't know if Rel is still here, but I know Rel has been in those chats.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, and with Zodrider, like I think that's been something that people have seen from me. Like, look, I've loved Zod, and I've had some discussions with Zod even lately because I reached out to him, personally, because that's somebody like in real life, you know what I mean? That it's like, like when this movie drama stuff starts to spill over into real life, that's where I think it really sucks, and I think that's where people really need to check themselves.
Well, that's where that's the point I'm at too.
like,
where it's like these are movies. Like I love everybody, and
that's the thing.
It's not
man.
worth this.
That's
shit
the thing.
anymore,
Look, I got into this for some fun, and even look when I got into even this. Because I saw somebody like mention to me not too long, or dropped some comment or whatever. It's like, well, Enosh, he got his big boost from being part of some drama or whatever, and I did. Like, but even then, like I this is how naive I mean.
I'll be honest,
when all that started.
I found your channel because Andy Signor, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but you know how I got into that? Okay, listen though. I didn't even know that this was a thing. I didn't even know that like YouTube drama stuff was really a thing at that time. I literally just saw something I didn't like because I was an Andy Signor fan, and I just made a video about it. I didn't realize that this was like a genre of YouTuber that did that kind of thing. I literally was just that upset about the fact that they were making Reject the Snyder Cult t-shirts and saying these horrible things about people, that I made a video about it. I was just literally pushed to that point. After that, it wasn't until Max found me that I recognized that there was even a segment of people that were doing all that. You know what I mean? And like, even I had watched Matt, for a couple years at that point, but I don't know what a Gamergate is. I still don't even know what all that stuff is. I don't know what all those things had to do, because I didn't even know that about Matt. I didn't know that Matt had gone through even half of the stuff that Matt went through. I didn't know about I didn't know that Matt Jarbo was controversial back then, because I watched.
You do now.
I do now, but I watched Matt's. Honest to God, all I ever watched was Matt's entertainment stuff. His take on different movies and stuff that I liked and stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody isn't in it, for that. So I don't know.
No, I get all that. I get all
Robin
that.
says Nerdrotic name dropped me once. There you go.
They just called me the Uber driver. So.
I had no idea Nerdrotic dropped my name. Keemstar says hello. I don't know what that means. Keemstar says hello. I don't even really know who Keemstar is. Like, I think I've seen like one of Keemstar's video, but like I didn't know what a Keemstar was for like.
Wait, hold on.
Until just a couple months ago.
I'm known as the shitty YouTube channel, according to Jeremy Gregg. So.
Keemstar says hello, Enosh. Oh my God.
What does that mean exactly? I don't know what that means.
Oh, Keemstar is a drama YouTuber. He runs Drama Alert, and he does not like me. I do not like him. Oh. So there's
I don't
that.
Know, but that's kind of cool. Hey, Robin, if you have that Nerdrotic name drop thing, I'd love to know what video that was, because that'd be fun.
Real quick here.
No clue.
I just saw this. Top 10 Den came a new member, man. Thank you very much. Join the matinee level. Thank you very much for joining the party. This is I don't want to always do drama streams, obviously. This is just one I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out on it, because it's just I see it.
Well, it's the end of the year. It's been a very tumultuous 6 months really with this entire thing. I say just going forward, I feel like all of us could have done some things better. We all should probably just go back to the way things were. Let's come together again. Let's just try to make next year better. Let's try to make next year better.
Well, speaking of that, though, I am behind on super chats. I do need to get to those real quick, because it's probably going to reignite some bullshit. But then again, there you go. RPK with $10 here. Can you provide an example of a movie star in your opinion? You constantly bash The Rock, but I don't recall you saying who is a movie star. I need some examples for comparison's sake. The reality of it is there are no movie stars today. There really aren't. There's not really any actual person who is going to be able to put butts in seats to the tune of $1 billion. I would argue that to an extent, maybe No Way Home, but that was because of the combined power of not only Tom Holland.
Maybe not $1 billion, but what about like Ryan? God, I'm so tired.
Ryan who?
Deadpool guy.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. I am
Ryan Reynolds.
so
Yeah.
exhausted right now.
Yeah.
I'm so
let me
exhausted
see here.
right. I can't remember Ryan Reynolds. I wanted to call him Ryan Johnson, but
you know what, Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
I'm not that stupid, by the way. I may not know the drama stuff, but I do know entertainment stuff. I'm just exhausted.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
Reynolds.
Free Guy pulled in 331 million USD worldwide, which is not terrible. But then again, that was one that it was, that was already in production when the buyout happened or when the merger happened.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Ryan Reynolds, but even then, when I talk about The Rock, and I did a little TikTok about it today.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's mostly to point out the fact that, like, on his own, he can't really pull in more than like 400 million on his own. That's no small number. But now, as these movies end up needing more and more money in order to make a profit, and the fact that $7 Productions and The Rock are taking a hefty amount of cash off that.
Clone 150. I think Tom Cruise is still one of like the last movies.
Tom Cruise,
as is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say DiCaprio, Tom Cruise. I mean, you've got like for a while there, I would have said Robert Downey Jr., but even now after Dr. Dolittle, I mean, they haven't even moved on Sherlock Holmes 3 as far as I know. Guy Ritchie's off shooting a whole bunch of other movies.
They're doing Sherlock Holmes 3. I think it comes out next year, actually, in December.
I'm very excited. I love the first two Sherlock Holmes, but I'm just saying, it's like at this point in time, what The Rock is, and that my whole argument is that The Rock is a brand, and that he's going to just follow the brand. He co-owns the XFL. He's got an energy drink company that I think is not very good. He's a businessman, and that's fine. And I'm not knocking him making money. What I'm talking about, though, is like, that perspective of it, where it's like a lot of people, they just fawn on him. Oh, he can never do, I'm like, no. Let's look at him like from a very realistic level and actually like gauge his popularity. Because here's the thing, Baywatch was a remake of a popular show, a movie, coming out right around the Memorial Day weekend. It was a May comedy when that came out, and it did $177 million worldwide. Red Notice, even though it was only in Cinemark cinemas, they only reported $176,000. And The Rock was pushing it, Ryan was pushing it, and Gal was pushing it. But Army of the Dead, in its first weekend, did about $749,000. I've heard that in some estimates they think that Red Notice did upwards of about 1.5 million in theaters. But I'm just telling you, it's like that star power combined should have filled seats. Even though it was a Cinemark only in 400 locations, you could have got Wes Anderson makes more money, in like literally 3 theaters on the opening weekend. They'll do like $50,000 a screen for that weekend, Or he makes a lot of cash. All I'm saying is that. But I mean, look, as for other people, yeah, Tom Cruise is probably your best bet because Tom Cruise plays Tom Cruise, but people like Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise is also, he'll stick with something. He's been playing Ethan Hunt since 1996.
By the way, can I just say real quick, I cannot wait for the new Mission Impossible movie.
Hell yeah.
Fallout was freaking incredible. They're bringing in Haley Atwell. I can't wait.
Oh yeah,
also,
I mean,
Carrie Elways is going to be in there too. So
there's also been the rumor that Henry Cavill might come back.
He should.
For the last movie, because they brought back. I mean, I'm like, I'd be down for that.
Although I don't know how he would survive that helicopter crash, but I don't care. Figure out.
You know what? Who cares at this point? Like, who cares? Who cares? I just want to see him punch a wall again, and like cock his guns in a bathroom fight. That was awesome. Fourth here for $5, man. I know you've been waiting on this one a while. Thank you very much. It says, how does Snyder fandom get blanketed with generalizations when Star Wars has a Doomcock and Geeks and Gamers? Is the fandom broken? You still engage it. Doomcock and Geeks and Gamers are very loud vocal parts of not just they don't just cover Star Wars. All right. Like Doomcock will cover a lot of Star Trek, Lucasfilm, whatever. He'll cover whatever he can that's going to get him views. Jeremy will do the same thing. The difference is Doomcock will come at it from either opinion based or scoop based, whereas Jeremy comes at it from the culture war perspective because that's what Nerdrotic does. And that's because Nerdrotic kind of runs the show. If you look at the pecking order of that organization for Friday Night Tights, it's Nerdrotic and then everybody else underneath. So the fandom on their end of it is broken, but it's also a very effective echo chamber. And it's very well organized. And that's kind of the whole point. By criticizing Doomcock and Geeks and Gamers, and I'm sure Enosh will agree with me, the idea behind it essentially boils down to disrupting the status quo by getting the outliers first. By people who are going to maybe get an autoplay of like a video criticizing a bad take Geeks and Gamers has and pointing out the fact that they're full of shit. You know what I mean? Like here, a lot of the Snyder Cut stuff, it ends up coming in through social media. It doesn't really get a lot through videos on YouTube to respond to. It gets a lot of like, these really, these accounts that you don't know if they're brand new or, well, you can tell if they're brand new, but you don't know if it's somebody else's burner account or whatever. And the fact is, a lot of those guys, in my opinion, have bots that they have a bunch of fake accounts that retweet their stuff in order to put it out there and get people to engage with it more. And then from there, that makes it appear like they have a large fandom that follows them and that they're considered leaders within the movement. But I would argue that on the YouTube side of things, that gets far more engagement. There should be, if the people see something, they should say something. And I think that's the best way. Otherwise, again, what happens is the vocal minority will control the narrative. And once the vocal minority has control, it's off. It's done. You lose. That's just the reality of it, and that's how the internet works.
Well,
and
the only thing I'd say about that with the Snyderverse is this: the people that you hear acting that way and making those kind of things, those people don't have Zack Snyder's ear. Those people
they claim to. They claim
don't.
to. But
show me the proof of that. Show me the streams where Zack Snyder's on there with them and
well, no, a lot of that is jealousy too, like absolute jealousy.
There's a lot of jealousy.
People can claim all kinds of stuff all day long.
Well, I mean, there was that one post. I don't know if you saw where they're like, "Oh, Zach, please don't cast these fans as extras in your movie. Wonder Meg and Dave Pena, they never cared." I'm like, whatever. And that's on Vero. It's on Vero.
Oh, is that what that was about?
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Is it don't cast the Nerd Queens? TPZ, Nosh, TPZ.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing. They're obviously begging for a reason because they're concerned it could happen. You know why? Because Zach has gone on record saying that he trusts the Nerd Queens, completely. And look, there's other things going to happen. You're going to see this face on with more stuff that has to do with that. You're gonna see Wonder Meg. You're gonna see the Nerd Queens. You're gonna see people involved with stuff that is close to Zack Snyder, and those people are just gonna have to deal with it. And those people are butthurt about it. Most of those stories are people who wanted to be a part of something that happened that they didn't get to be a part of it, so they got mad, they got angry, and then all of a sudden they started spreading rumors. They got other people, involved in it. There were people who, for one reason or another, they tried to angle it for something else because so now something that started as, hey, there just wasn't room for one more person because everything was filled up has become, oh, well, it's because you're racist now. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Like literally when there's people who are involved in the whole thing, you know what I mean? So it's like, and I wasn't even asked to do it first. My gosh, like when it comes to something like Justice Con, for example, Justice Con was a thing that I got asked to do afterwards. And then all these people come forward, I sold his soul to be in Justice Con. Like, no, I didn't. They called me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't. But that's the problem is, like, a lot of these other people were begging for places and stuff like that. When I found out they were going to do Justice Con, I contacted Cole and Nana and Meg, and this is what I said. Verbatim, I said, I am so happy that you guys are doing this. I'm so happy that you guys are bringing this back this year. I want you to know that Tiffany and I support you guys full on. And if you need any help, and I literally put in parentheses, and I don't mean that we have to host something or do some big kind of thing. If you need help in the trenches, because last year, and what I was talking about is because like the year before, they didn't plan for any of that stuff to blow up. They didn't plan to have 15,000 people in the chat. You know what I mean? Like they didn't plan for any of that stuff because they didn't think it was going to do all that. So I was talking about, hey, if you need a moderator, you know what I mean? Like if you need us to promote it, whatever, and the thing was that they filled up all their spots for the people that they needed, for the interviews that they had. And then some things happened. And then they came to me and asked me, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, you know what I mean? But like, that's the thing. There's people who feel entitled. And with the Snyderverse, you know what I think? If Zack Snyder made one mistake, probably in this whole thing, it's probably the fact, and it's not what he did, it's how people have run with it, is the associate producer thing. Because I have literally seen people and heard about people like using that on a resume. Like,
Wait, are you
is
serious?
the stupidest thing. I heard a story about this.
There's no
way that
way.
apparently somebody used. Well, I'll tell you what happened to me, and this is the honest to God's truth. That last church that I worked at, that I ended up leaving. When I got interviewed by their board, I sat there and they said, "Hey, do you have any questions for Enosh? Whatever." One person stands up and says, "Yeah, I have a concern because." Are you sure you want this job? And I went, yeah. And they said, well, we were just wondering because we did some research on you. And they had seen my my song associate producer, right? And, they somehow they thought that I was an actual associate producer on Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't know how it's just somebody who didn't know anything about that whole thing, whatever. But there's some people, look on Twitter, man. Like if you look up associate producer, like for that thing, dude, there are some people saying some of the craziest things using that title and acting like, like they have something. But that's the thing is like with that, I think came this entitlement, that like, oh, we have Zack Snyder's ear. Zack Snyder loves it. Well, Zack Snyder, that part I will agree with you, Matt. Like, Zack Snyder has his fans. He is trying to appeal to his fans. There are some of those things that are appealing to fans. And, and he was trying to show his gratitude towards people who fought, bled, sweat, invested their tears into something. And he was trying to show his gratitude for that. And unfortunately, there are the normal people who are like, oh yeah, that's sweet. That's nice. We're all associate producers. Oh, that's cool. And then there's people who are just like, yeah, I'm something. And I don't know if it's just because they got nothing else going in their life or if they're just really just like, they're that manipulative where they would try to use something like that or act like that's like an actual badge of something. But, people, there's just a lot of there's a lot of entitlement in that group of people and in that side of the fandom that it's unfortunate. And
yeah.
but those sour grapes come out when you talk about the nerd queens, Wonder Meg.
Here's the thing: if there are more nerd queens, Wonder Megs, Daves, Enoshes, this fandom would probably wouldn't be doing the stream if there.
That's what we're trying to do, man. That's what we're trying. That's why I joined up with those people. That's why I joined up with Dave. That's why I joined up with the nerd queens and Wonder Meg, because I started seeing, the deeper I got into it, who was who. Okay, that's what I started seeing. I started seeing who was who, where people fell, the kind of personalities people had, the kind of actions
I do agree overall. I do agree overall that fandom in general, no matter what fandom it is, there's always a level of toxicity to it. Yeah. That is something that, like, I'm not sure that's just the internet that's just like made it worse, or if it's always crept underneath the surface. But every fandom has toxicity, but I feel like what makes every fandom unique is how we combat that, how each individual fandom combats toxicity.
Yeah.
Or if they embrace it or not,
Yeah.
Again, like, I kind of feel like a lot of what I see is the embracing of negativity. I know that's not everybody, and I get that. But I do think that there are people that simply see it that don't say anything because they just don't want to deal with it. And I get that too. I'm just a stubborn person. And I've been in these situations before. I got into a conversation with someone the other night who was very much not happy with me. And we had like an hour conversation, and that's kind of one of the things like prompted to kind of do this, is like just to kind of put my thoughts out there in a live stream, and like, just, this is, if anyone brings it up again, I'm just going to link to this and go, this is what I think. It's a long stream, but you know what? It's all there. Go for it, And then that's it. 'Cause that's all at this point, kind of what I care about. Because it is boring. It's very frustrating, because I want to enjoy the little Zach drops, but I'm just like, it's like all I see are Q drops at this point. It's like, or Z drops or whatever you want to call it.
I'm in a unique position, right? Because I've been honest about this. Like, Man of Steel was okay to me, right? BVS, I'm not the biggest fan of BVS. I'm sorry, I'm just not. But I love the Snyder Cut. I love that movie. It's still probably one of the best movies released this year, and that's when it clicked for me. I'm not a hardcore fan. I'm not, like, never been the hardcore Snyder fan, but I still feel involved, obviously. So I have a different emotional connection to things than other people do, and that's okay, you know? I wanted to continue, I do, but like if I don't see a path forward, by all means, I love speculation, I love fun, you know? I know it's tough. It's tough because I feel like
it is tough. It is tough because, look, I don't want to be a jerk about it either.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I don't want to be, you know, known for pushing people around or, you know, trying to manipulate something or whatever. You know, look, I'm frustrated with a studio. I'm frustrated with a company that owns the things that I love, the characters that I love most in pop culture. You know, some of the characters I love most in pop culture, you know, outside of like Star Wars or something like that. The two things that meant the most in my life to me are Star Wars and DC characters, especially Superman. And, you know, I've just kind of gotten to a part where I just, you know, it's like, it's very frustrating for me because you know, I look at it at every turn. It seems like I see this company that doesn't know what to do with its own properties.
Well, can I just say though real quick? I'm so glad though we don't live in 2016. I remember being on Twitter during 2016. 2016 was the peak of Marvel versus DC wars. Where that was like, I'll never forget the night that the reviews for BVS dropped. And it was like, what the hell? 27% Rotten Tomatoes has seen critics eviscerate that movie. And that really started like this whole war about like the critics and the media versus DC fans too that kind of went on that year. It was bad. 2016 was bad. I'm at least happy we haven't got back to that because I feel like it's funny because I feel like the Marvel versus DC stuff that used to be encompassing of toxicity and fandom kind of eroded away to where there is now a lot more common ground now between these fans than there was before. Really, the issue is there's just so much infighting between the individual fandoms now. It's not like one fandom versus another like it used to be. It's like the fandoms within fighting each other. So it's
well, it's because everybody wants power. It's power, is what it boils down to. It is. It's power. It's influence. People who don't have it feel that they're owed it, and then they will act out in order to carve out a niche to take it. And that's what I think we see. I think we see people. I saw Caden had showed me a screenshot of a thumbnail tonight that was someone said Snyder, you know, Restore the Snyderverse confirmed Justice League 2 2023. You know, and it was all about the motion comic that Zeverfett and those guys are doing, right? And I'm like, come the hell on.
Yeah, well, Enosh, I wanted to ask you this. There's this guy on Twitter who's posting artwork, and people are acting like it's like a confirmation or they're teasing something. I think his name's like Clay Straub. Clay Straub or something?
Or Staub, or yeah, I know you're
yeah. Everyone's like freaking out about what he's posting on Twitter. I'm like, I don't know who he is. And I was
he worked on the Snyder Cut. He worked on Zack Snyder's Justice League. And he posts things, pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he'll go like he's a big fan.
Wait, hold on, Clay Enos?
Not Clay Enos, Clay Straub or something. So it's not the same guy. It can get
he's been like teasing this like artwork banner of like Snyder Cut characters or something. It looks like pretty like it's like images of the actors. I don't know what it is. I'm just really confused by it. It's just I have no clue what it is.
It's a weird thing. While you guys are taking a look at that, hold on. There's still a bunch of super chats to get to. I got to get to them. RPK for $5, buddy. Thank you so much. This Max always says, I don't support bad behavior, but then continues to support the fandom that caused it in the first place. I mean, Max will say he doesn't support bad behavior, but I'll be critical. I think there are times where, like I said earlier, toxic positivity. I think it turns a blind eye a little bit, and he kind of admitted that a little bit. So, but he's adamant about how if he sees it, he'll say something. And look, the guy's got a full-time job and he's not on Twitter all the time. So he may not see it. And
I feel bad because I do want to apologize to Max and I'll apologize to him later as well.
Well, can I ask a question though about this? I mean, like, Max doesn't support those people who are doing that. To say that he supports the fandom, that's like saying hey,
well, I think
you don't like something in Star Wars, but when I say
I think
like
people get that
Wars,
construed because Max keeps saying he wants to be friends with everybody because we talked about Zod. And I respect Max for that. Something I admire about him. It is something I truly admire about him, that he does want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And I do agree with him, and I do want to apologize.
I'll be friends
to
with
him.
everybody to a point, but when people start acting like jerks and look, let somebody say something like what's happened to Saggy or any others, and then I'm gonna draw that line.
Yeah.
I know that's not always the popular thing, and you will lose some people that way, but I mean the thing is I
just feel bad because again, like I feel like that is true what Max said earlier, that sometimes I feel like, including myself, I do put unrealistic expectations on him to control his community, including you, Enosh, because I'll admit, like, because of what happened yesterday in Max's chat, just to be transparent, I was just so angry and fed up. I'm like, I'm just taking a break from everybody. I'm walking away. I'm done. Because you just had that emotional reaction. That's unfair to me, right? And that's like it's unfair to leave that expectation on you guys. Could everybody do better to control their communities and chats? Probably, but I understand Max's point too. And it's like, I don't know. I don't want to say that we need to grow thicker skin. It's just more so the issue of there's a better way to go about things, I guess. I don't know.
Well, and if we're talking about the fandom, so I mean, are we expected to not be Zack Snyder fans anymore? Are we expected to not be fans of his movies, his DC movies anymore, and support that? So I mean, there's plenty of people who come to my channel who just like those films. They're not jerks. They're not part of that other fandom. And you know how I know that they're not? Because they support me. Because those people on that side, they hate me. They have literally cut up videos of mine and tried to say that I'm not a Zack Snyder fan. They're pissed off that I support the Nerd Queens. They're pissed off that I support Wonder Meg and Dave, that I go on the vodka stream with Dave Pena and I'm his friend, and that I'm friends with these other people. And so I know those people hate me, right? So when people come over to my channel, I look at those people as am I saying that those people are perfect, that those people can't make any mistakes or can't say anything out of turn or out of line? No, I'm just saying when I think we have to be careful when we say, well, they still supports the fandom that comes from. Because that's like saying, well, I'm a Star Wars fan, so if Doomcock says something stupid, or bad or racist or whatever, that somehow I'm supporting Doomcock when I'm just supporting Star Wars. You know what I mean? Fandom actually includes everybody who's a fan of that thing. So it doesn't mean they're all together. It doesn't mean they're all united. It doesn't mean that they're all in agreement. It just means that you support other people. I support other people who are DC fans still. I support other people who are Star Wars fans. I support people who are fans of a lot of different things. I like The Witcher. I don't think that everybody who's into The Witcher is probably a good person, or makes good decisions, or, treats everybody with respect. I think there's a lot of stuff out there that we're fans of, and there's millions of people. And I think we got to remember that sometimes. That those things represent millions of people with different opinions and different walks of life. And I mean, there's some people who look at things, and Matt, you know this. There's people who will look at something and say, "Oh, this is very right wing. This is very right wing and conservative in its views." And then somebody else will look at it and go, "Oh, this is very liberal," and just the opposite. People read into stuff all the time as to what they want to support their narrative.
I get that. I mean, I think we all kind of do.
Yeah.
We read into it in all different ways and everything else. But I mean, just to kind of continue on here, because there's still a lot to get to. RPK does say here, Donald Trump says he didn't support January 6th, but he continues the same dog whistling that caused it in the first place. What's the difference? He's referring to the comment before about Max in the fandom. It's like,
I don't know if that's fair.
I get
we gotta be careful with that comparison. Let's be
yeah. I think it's kind of like I mean, look, I think Donald Trump did support January 6th pretty well. So I don't know if necessarily I'd view it as an apt comparison, all things considered. I see where you're trying to say, RPK, there. It's kind of like the people that publicly, claim to distance themselves or to not support something, but then either like they continue on with the same rhetoric, and it's like, you know, it's kind of like when Jeremy, I think it might have been better to say something along the lines of, you know, Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers and all those guys, they all ditched the Fandom Menace label, but they all do the exact same thing that they did under the Fandom Menace label.
Yes.
So that's probably more of an apt comparison.
Well, they don't want to use that name because it's got bad juju. It's been ruined.
Well, yeah. Again, as a lot of these things tend to do. You know, when there's a lot of unfiltered passion, I would say, and that's a nice way of putting it towards that fandom. But the RPK also says here again, thank you. How much you want to bet if one of these actors was the main reason stopping Justice League 2, the fandom would immediately turn on them instantly and harass them.
Here's the thing, right? There are some people who want an excuse to just feel like they want to like just be on the attack constantly. I mean, you know, you talked about this before. It's like an interview with Henry Cavill comes out and he says something. You're like, oh no, he's talking out against Zack Snyder, and they use that as an excuse to like lambast him what he wants to do in his career. But I mean, people are going to do that when they.
Again, I will say this. Though, those people who do that. See, this is what I think we got to be careful when we say the fandom, because I don't feel that it's just one faction of a fandom. It's not just.
It's more so individual people.
Yeah, it's not one thing. When you say the fandom, you're incorporating a lot of people. So I would say the people who are actually fans of Zack Snyder's work or whatever, or fans of DC or fans of these characters. Look, I even said, RJ, you were on my stream the other day. I said, listen, if Ben Affleck is done, if Ben Affleck has told Warner Brothers, look, I don't want to play Batman anymore, and it is because of him that it's turned down. What did I say? I said, look, I'm interested how that actually went down, because he's said now a couple times, I'm not Batman with a question mark. I am Batman. He's gone back and forth. Why would he say it? Like, you know, why did he do it? Whatever. But beyond all that, if Zack Snyder said that and we didn't get him in the Batgirl movie, for example, right? Because Zack Snyder didn't, or because Ben Affleck doesn't want to do it. I'm not going to be pissed off at Ben Affleck. I'm going to be disappointed, because I'd really love to see him in that film. I'd really love to see him play Batman. I'd love to see him get his solo Batman film. Okay. And I will support that. And I will make it known that I want to see the Batman Deathstroke movie all day long, because I want to see that so bad. I love him in the role. He's my favorite Batman now, right after Michael Keaton. That being said,
wait, George Clooney's not your favorite?
No, he's not. But you know what I mean? So yeah, I want it. But if that's why it doesn't happen, look, Ben Affleck knows what's best for him, right? He may be holding up something. Am I going to be happy about it? No. But as long as it's not some toxic thing, and it's not just because like he's trying to, like, you know, stick it to somebody or whatever, or doing some, you know, underhanded thing, you know, just to be a jerk or whatever. Okay. It sucks, right? It sucks, you know, but on the flip end, you got somebody like Henry Cavill who's very vocal about it. You know what I mean? Like all I was saying the other night about that is like, you don't really hear a lot from Ben Affleck either way about it. You know, you get these little things here and there, but then you get somebody like Henry Cavill who, like, every interview, he's like, hey, got the costume. It's there, you know, like, I want to do it again. You know what I mean? You know, but then people, like you said, RJ, there's been people who've attacked him just because he said he wanted to play a bright Superman, you know, who you know, had more positive attributes. But the thing is that was always the plan of where they were going to go. He's always said that he wanted to play that. So I don't take that as offense, but there's people who are looking for something just to attack people. But that's not the fandom as a whole, because I can tell you the people that I associate with, the people who are in the fandom, and I consider the fandom to be anybody who's a fan of those movies.
Yeah. And maybe
they don't feel that way about any of those actors, where it's like, if those actors did
and maybe that's something that we all need to fix too. It's just the way we word stuff too, where maybe we should use different language than just saying the fandom, so it doesn't come across as generalization or gets misconstrued to be talking about more people than it needs to be. I mean, you know, I feel like that's something too.
And honestly, dude, I appreciate that you say that, because that's all I've really been asking for, you know, from my friends now for the last little while, that this has been a thing. is just make that distinction. I'll fight with you guys. I'll fight for you guys, beside you guys all day long against that toxicity and against those people who would do this right here. You know what I mean? Like that would go after an actor or somebody or harass them or whatever because they don't want to do it anymore or whatever. Like I'll for sure get involved in that. But, you know, like if we say the fandom, we just got to remember that includes a lot of people who are just good people. You know, and so that's it. I got to get back to my wife. My wife is building my Tron video game. She's been working all day long. We got a party tonight now because it's going to be another year tomorrow at this time. So we got a party with a bunch of people coming over. So she's been doing that all day. And then I came home. She's putting my arcade game together. So.
Oh, you got one like Joe?
Yeah. I sold one so that I had the money to buy this one, and so she put a couple $100 with it, and so it's it was one of my Christmas presents. So I came home and she was putting it together after she cleaned the entire house. I was over at the church today setting up literally all kinds of stuff and doing all kinds of fun stuff today, like making it so my back hurt, my hips hurt, my legs hurt. I came home, her knees swollen. We're getting old. You know, but she's building me an arcade game, so I'm young at heart. So there you go. But I wanted to come on here and just you know, have these conversations. I'm glad I did. I am glad I did because I think it's important, and hopefully we can all just, you know, take.
Hopefully this can just be like forward. A nice little bow on everything, and just going into next year, we can all just be like,
heck yeah,
fresh start. Let's just all relax, you know.
I hope so. I really do. I really do because I care a lot about you guys. I mean, I spend more time with you guys than pretty much anybody. You know, I mean, and after this year that I've had, like, you know, it really does matter to me. You know.
I did not realize I've been muted. So I think I hit the button accidentally. No, I agree. I just want to watch more Boba Fett and like dive back into that stuff. That was great.
Did you guys see the side-by-side comparison with Boba Fett with them showing the backstory? I don't know if we're talking about spoilers, but showing him you know, at the beginning of that and the Patton Oswalt description.
No, I know the Patton Oswalt description you're talking about. I haven't seen the side by side. I'll have to find it.
I've seen the side. There's a TikTok where it's at top and bottom.
It's pretty much almost exactly what you described.
It's like word for word.
I guarantee
the twin sons of Tatooine pan down to the Mandalorian armored hand of Boba Fett reaching up out of the.
I guarantee you they watched that and they're like, we got.
They did that, dude. There's no way that they didn't do that, like, and copy off of that, because man, it's like it's literally that. I mean, you know,
yeah. What did you think of the first episode, by the way, before you go?
You know, I haven't even done my review yet. You know what? I liked it. I mean, I'm a huge Boba Fett fan, right? So like, I'm excited just to see Boba Fett. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, you know, I was tired yesterday to fall asleep halfway through Boba Fett because I love Boba Fett. Look, I'm really glad to have Tamara Morrison back playing. I thought that the flashbacks were cool. I loved
the opening of the episode, man, where you see Camino and the helmet and all that, and just like,
dude, I want to see more of Camino.
Dude, that was brilliant. That was great how they did it. Like, to show all these things that are in Boba Fett's brain and in his mind. There's one thing that I don't like about it so far, and it's just the same thing that we keep doing to all of our villains these days. And I'm not saying that it has to. I like where they're taking Boba Fett, right? He's always been a mercenary. He's always been this guy. He's for hire. You know, like, he really doesn't care about the job. He just cares about the money. That's great. The one thing I didn't like, though, the one thing I'm kind of worried about is now they're kind of making him an anti-hero just like everybody else. So
wasn't Boba Fett always like, not exactly anti-hero, but he always was like the villain with like a bit of charm, though, to where he was kind of like the swashbuckling.
Charm is one thing. The problem is like, when you see him, there were things that he did in that first episode where, like, for example, like when they come up on it's almost like a flashback to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. You know, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it wasn't, but
everyone...
it kind of reminded me of that.
Like,
you know, like what could happen.
My dad said the same thing too.
I mean, I think those guys are going to come into play. You know, whatever. You know, because it's obviously some kind of.
People keep saying Crimson Dawn.
Yeah. Well, did you notice though that the letters that they spray painted on the building said JL?
Does this like confirmed?
Justice League. We were joking. We joked about that on RJ's live stream for it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like whatever that is, yeah. It's probably for something to do with Crimson Dawn. Who knows? But the thing is that now that you say that, now I realize I think I've heard that. But so they're gonna probably come into play with it. But I thought it was interesting that like Boba Fett's like watching this thing, and it's like, and he's like, kind of, I don't know, just. I guess he's not a bad guy. He's just a guy who watched his dad get killed, and he just was mad at the Jedi and mad at these good guys.
Listen. He's a simple. He's a simple man making his way through the galaxy like his father before him.
Ooh, sorry about that. I'm looking at an action figure right now. Like this is where we met Boba Fett. You know what I mean? That scene right there. He was working for the bad guys. So, you know, sometimes you just want to look at it and go, you know, like I don't want him to be a bad guy necessarily. He doesn't have to be a bad guy, but I don't want him to lose his edge. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I hear what you're saying. I feel like
back,
this.
Now that he's back, I just want him to kind of keep that edge a little bit, and to I do like that. I do think that they're paying respect to him. You know, you know, but it's like you know, he's you know, I guess I mean everything's in character. I mean, because you know he's gone through a lot, he's been through a lot, and he's seen a lot. You know, it's just I don't think that this is the Boba Fett we would have gotten had they done like a series on Boba Fett back in 1983 after Return of the Jedi. Like if this had picked up right from Return of the Jedi, I don't think that this is the type of series we would have gotten, because I think he would have been a lot more clear cut, more kind of black and white, with less room for gray. You know, less room for him being nice to people, kind of deal. You know, that's all. But I'm not upset about that. I'm not upset about that. I want to make that clear. I am not upset about that at all. I love the direction they're taking in, because I want to see Boba Fett do some cool, bang up stuff. I want to see Boba Fett take on some awesome stuff. Well, I mean, but isn't it kind of weird though that like it's like he's the criminal with a heart, because like he's taking over Jabba's criminal like
empire.
You know, empire, and at the same time like he doesn't like
he's changing.
What's
he's
the
doing
thing?
it
Like,
differently.
he doesn't want to.
He wants to rule it out of respect, not fear, like Jabba.
Yeah,
well,
and that's cool. I mean, that's cool. It's not that it's bad. It's just kind of funny. You know what I mean? It's like you're a gangster with heart. So
well, I think that's what's going to happen when we see more of him with the Tusken Raiders, and so he's going to learn a bit out of that. But additionally, as I pointed out to RJ last night, if you notice in the episode, he's always in over his head, and that's kind of the whole point. He goes in cocky, thinking he's just going to take over. He's just going to roll over these backwater yokels.
Yeah,
you know, and like that's, and then he's just going to get wrecked. You know, and he's like, all right, now I gotta go into battle. Like I was gonna do this the nice way.
I love when he blows up that guy though. With the
oh yeah, because that's total Boba. That's total Boba right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you're like,
well, even getting like the one hand where it's like, I love the Gamorrean guards too, where you like,
oh yeah,
you were loyal to your two bosses. I understand that. Are you gonna be loyal to me if I spare you? They just like kneel down.
Yeah,
it's like
they were clutch in that episode though.
Yeah, I know some people complain that the episode was a little too slow. I know John Campy is like, nothing really happened this episode. I'm like,
a lot happened.
King of Golden State, I think you may be onto something there.
Oh, the mayor beating Kira?
Oh yeah, I saw those leaks as well. I have no idea if they're true or not. So
I don't know if they're true or not either, but I could, after watching that episode and hearing the kind of like, we don't care who you are. You know,
well, it's also like you need to give the mayor tribute.
Yeah,
that was
interesting. I'm just saying. After setting that up, it's got to be something good.
It's
because
gonna be a big
it can't
reveal.
just be somebody that
I
think goes, screw you, and shoots him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's gonna have to be something good.
I think episode 2 is gonna have a big cameo probably.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and then turning back and saying, you know, well, I'm sure you'll get another delegation. You know, like showing that, it's plus they said the mayor was off doing some kind of thing. So like more than likely the mayor's probably off doing Crimson Dawn stuff, right? So
Well, this is my I think we speculated this, Jarbo, on the whenever we talked about it, but to me, my thing is, I feel like Bib Fortuna was just like a figurehead who sat on the throne, who just got fat and lazy because he really wasn't the mastermind by the operation. Somebody else is. Probably the mayor is the true ruler of Mos Espa at this point.
He was just the face
not
of it
whoever
all.
controls Jabba's palace in that organization.
Well,
That's probably
I don't know.
the
Do you know? Do you know the canon? Well, it's obviously probably not going to be canon now, but do you know the story of Bib Fortuna before all this?
Oh, where his mind got put in like a little robot or something?
No, a little robot. No, dude.
No, like didn't.
Well, okay.
That was Legends, wasn't it?
So in Legends, his brain got taken out by the Bomar monks and put into one of those spider creatures, because the Bomar monks, they're spider creatures with their brain in a bowl.
Yeah.
The monks have ascended beyond needing physical form, right? So the physical form keeps them from being able to ascend. So when they ascend spiritually, they just put their brains in there. So one of the first things that they did when Jabba was gone was they attacked because Bib Fortuna was going to take over then, and the Bomar monks retaliated, and they cornered him, and they took his brain and they put it in a jar. What happened was that Bib Fortuna was actually a smart guy, and he started reaching out to another Twi'lek to bring that Twi'lek to him, who was a guy, and started promising him all this stuff and everything. Well, when he showed up, guess what? He did the reversal on him. And he put that guy's brain into the jar, and he put his brain into this other Twi'lek, and like freaked everybody out, because it's basically a face-off kind of situation where basically now Bib Fortuna had somebody else's face, but his brain was in somebody else's head, and so he was he took over Jabba's thing.
So what you're saying is maybe they didn't actually kill Bib Fortuna.
If they still keep the Legends thing, then they killed Bib Fortuna, but it was Bib Fortuna in somebody else's body. But it looked like Bib Fortuna. So I'm guessing they.
Well, it was credited too as Bib Fortuna.
Yeah. And that was the thing, was like actually, even though they did the Legends thing, he didn't come back. I mean, like, he went by Bib Fortuna. He came back, and it freaked everybody out because people wouldn't be expecting it, and they see this guy and they're like, "That's not Bib Fortuna," and yeah. It was weird. It was a weird thing. Like, I read it just a couple of years ago, because I didn't know about it until a couple of years ago, and I read it and I was like, what the heck, man? It's very deep. It's very deep, but it's a good read. But yeah, they had Bib Fortuna kind of just get fat and lazy, and so but I mean, Jabba was fat and lazy too, so
Yeah, I just want to bring up an interesting point. Like, we still don't know who hired those assassins to take out Boba and stuff like that in the streets that we saw in the first episode. It's like we saw Fennec capture one of the assassins, but it kind of cut from there to him getting back in the bacta tank. So it'll be really interesting to see who sent those people to attack Boba in the streets.
So the mayor,
probably the mayor,
yeah, it's probably, but and it'll lead to the potential, like, who is the mayor? Big cameo.
Well, that's going to be, I think, what we're going to get then. But yeah, I should probably get to the rest of these super chats, and then just and start maybe winding it down.
Yeah, I gotta get going. But thank you guys for having me on. Thank you for inviting me on. I appreciate it. Thank you, Matt. And hey, here's to next year, and to better times, and to respect, and to friendship. So there you go. Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, get some rest, buddy.
All right, thanks. Bye.
See ya. All right, Poindexter Lounge, everybody, go check them out. All right, let me just get through some of this stuff. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to make... Okay. All right, fourth here. Sorry, I know we're way behind on this, but I appreciate you guys sticking around. Fourth here says, and yet Dave Pena, is that tries or thrives? I think it's thrives. And isn't talking about quitting or it's time to walk away, good man. However, Dave has talked about doing the motion comic, or not the motion comic, but a graphic novel, and he got shit on a lot by people in the fandom when he suggested doing a graphic novel. So he's not talking about walking away, but you can tell that he's changing up his tune a little bit, and I think there's a reason for that. So thank you. Jess here, $5, buddy. Thank you so much. By the way, I was gonna go get your package today. I got there too late, and I have to go to the post office to get it. So I'll get it tomorrow if I can. Saying here, all fandoms have their toxic side, and we do need to call them out for the damage they do to a property and make fans look like monsters in society. I agree. The only downside to it is getting everybody on the same page. That can be a bit of a problem. Enosh made a good point. Not everyone is maybe equipped to do it, and there are some of us who come in with a sledgehammer rather than a scalpel, which I think Saggy and I can probably attest to that mentality more than not.
Oh, I'm 100% a sledgehammer, dude. I'm like a friggin' those, what do you call them? The things
Oh wow, Saggy came back.
She came back,
wow.
yes. Oh, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Saggy. You come in like a wrecking ball.
I know. I'm savage.
Yeah, I'm not singing again. By the way, tonight
Please
we're not doing
sing.
that.
Why?
No. We're good. We're good.
Spending another hour and a half on that.
Wow, you guys are lame. You guys are
All right.
fun.
Well, I want to get. Look. There are a lot of people that have put super chats in that with the conversation that we're not. I don't know. That's CJ.
That's CJ.
CJ from freaking San
Why do you
Andreas.
look like that though?
Because it's a PlayStation 2 game.
Why does he look black? Is that what you're asking?
No, why is his eyes so far apart?
Jesus, RJ.
Right? Nobody was talking about his race, RJ.
You were asking why he looked like that. I thought you were
His
asking like why he's black. It's a little weird.
Being black. Why do you go? What?
I don't know, but all right. Let me get to these. You all can bicker. Oh my Jesus, man, titties. All right, Andrew Dunbar here, $5, buddy. Thank you. Says I think Snyder must feel like Haile Selassie felt when he found out, or Haile Selassie, when he found out he was viewed as a messianic figure by the Rastafarians. Just perplexed. Here's the thing, though.
That means.
I kind of get it. It's kind of finding out you're like a religious symbol or something. Or you're very revered. I would argue that maybe Zach is fully aware of where he stands within the fandom, and he knows exactly what he does. There's no way in my mind at this point that after all the years of this shit, that you're not going to sit there and go,
He's definitely aware of what's going on.
You're fully aware of all that.
How can you not be? It's your fandom.
Thank you.
Based off of your movies.
Let's see here. Shogun says, anyone here see the concept art for Rebel Moon? Yeah, we actually looked at it last night, and it looked pretty cool. I'm really excited to see what comes out of that when they start filming it here in the next couple months, so thank you for that. The Top 10 Den with 5 Canadian, thank you, says, Doomcock, since when did my ex-girlfriend start a channel dedicated to me? Oh, that's a bit of a burn, a bit of a self-burn on that one right there.
Self-burn? He's talking about his Doom pee-pee.
Yeah, his pee-pee is doomed.
No, he's gonna doom the V with his P.
What?
What the hell are you talking about, Slimer?
Hold on, sorry. Let me just clarify this. Let me just. He's going to doom the pussy with his penis?
Yes.
Okay.
Pussy's doomed.
I think Saggy needs the night off.
Shut your racist ass up, RJ. You already fucked up tonight.
I'm just saying.
Maybe you're just mad because I clutched up in Fortnite and she's still mad about that. That's okay.
Foreskins? Yeah, I know.
Nah, that's going to catch on. That is going to catch on. 100%. Reed here, thank you for the $5. Says, did you know that the Beatles was going to make a Lord of the Rings movie? And what did you think of the video I sent you? Also, what's your favorite music? I haven't watched the video you sent me yet. I just have not had time. I did know that the Beatles were going to do a Lord of the Rings movie, and I forget who they wanted to play Gandalf, but it was like someone insane. And I'm very glad that didn't happen, because you know what? Though there was we got the movies we got 20 years ago, and I think that was great. There was an article I saw today on Polygon that was all like, what if the Lord of the Rings movies were never made? And like, dude, it's been 2 decades. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck is this shit? Yeah, I know. But also, what's my favorite music? I mean, like, I really like 90s dance music. Did you say grunge?
I said drugs, first of all.
Oh, drugs are good. I mean, I like techno, I like trance, like a house, I like all that kind of stuff. I don't really like dubstep that much, but I listen to kind of everything. I don't like country. That's like the one thing I don't listen to. But anything with a nice like techno beat to it, like I'm pretty on board with that. So, I listen to a lot of EDM hits on Amazon. Like at 2 a.m, I'll put my headphones on. I'll just like, I'm like, yeah, just fucking. Yeah. I want to be like that Howard Stern thing one time and just like get a woman off with my voice.
I can totally tell you it just jams the Mortal Kombat soundtrack on loop.
Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it's gonna sound terrible. But no, I'd argue probably like the techno stuff. I mean, like one of my all-time favorite groups is Daft Punk. Like we're talking like Interstellar 5555 stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and I love their new stuff too. But and I'm so bummed that they broke up. But I love a lot of music, man. I love a lot of random varied stuff. You know, like thank you. The Encanto soundtrack. We actually listened to that today after we watched the movie. It's a really good soundtrack. So I listen to a lot of stuff. Thank you for that one there. All right. The top 10 Den. Oh my God, guys. It says something here more uplifting. I heard I had Darkside Ray Porter record my voicemail greeting for me. Yup, epic. Nice. Did you do that through Cameo or did he just do that for you on your own? Because that's actually pretty cool, and I'm glad you got that. Mo Moon here says The Rock wants to extend an olive branch to Jarbo. I think that olive branch is his penis.
Then take it.
I guarantee you, it's big, throbbing, and brown.
Fucking take it.
I mean, sure.
What are you, nuts?
Well, I mean, his nuts, I guess. But he's also doesn't he do roids? Like that would just make it like fire off dust.
Yeah, he was caught a couple years ago trying to like something in his. Oh. But yeah, he was caught with steroids before.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys are on some shit. All right, and then Todd Fayer with $40, man. Thank you so much, Todd. Sorry I missed this one. I just wanted to kind of get to it in order. Saying here, I know this is off topic, but do you all agree Sony should be offering the Brooks truck to Kevin Feige to continue their relationship? Because without Feige, Sony would not have had a Spider-Man revival if it was not for Kevin Feige. So here's the thing with that. You're right. You're absolutely right. Anyone out there that says that Sony doesn't need Marvel, Campia, is wrong. Because Sony has proven that it can make money, but it doesn't make the kind of money it needs to make in order to keep, to be what you would consider to be really successful. And that's kind of the whole point, right? That's kind of the whole point, is where Sony understands where their bread is buttered, and they're going to go there. And I think that's what we're going to see. So hopefully they're just going to be giving all the Spider-Man properties to Marvel, and then just raking in the cash without having to do that much. And I know they want to act like they have a say in it too. Like Tony Vincent Quer is like, we do well. We do stuff. And it's like, no, you don't. Shut up, dude. You guys are terrible. Oh, he says Brings truck. That's what it was. Brings truck. Happy New Year, Todd, by the way. Thank you all so much. You've been very supportive of the channel, Todd. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's. Thank you so much, buddy. The top 10.
Hold up. When Saggy put up her picture of her tits,
I didn't mean to.
Put her back up. Matt can get more viewers.
No, the picture. I didn't mean to angle. For some reason, when I was doing the crop, and for some reason the picture was too big, so the crop of the back looks weird now. So I put it down to my eyes because I figured it would to do the most of the face, but it went a little too low, so all it was is a breast assistant. I'm so sorry.
I didn't see the breasts. I just saw
it looked like Batman was very happy with himself looking at Saggy. That's all I'll say.
Oh, okay.
Horny Batman.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find it in the there. I mean, all you see is you just see the top of something. It's nothing too terrible. You guys are dirty. You guys are dirty here. Anyway. Oh no. Oh no. Anyway, the top 10 Den, thank you again, says RPK has a monopoly on this chat racket. Donald Trump didn't support January 6th. He initiated it. A normal person would fall back to the plausible deniability. Fair point. Trump did initiate that, and then has been relatively quiet on it. All right. Thank you, man. And then also Jess here says, as a society, we need to learn how to communicate. I agree. I definitely agree. There's a lot of problems with communication these days, and I'll fully admit that I have my own problem with it as well. I screw things up quite often. So, oh my God, Saggy, no, look at that. It's like a pre-op, man.
It's beautiful.
Jesus Christ.
This is what RJ looks like, being the product of
That's
you
what
and
you look
me.
like.
No, that's
what you
your.
look like.
Yeah, shut up, son of Jarbo.
Okay, okay.
This is what you'd look like as a son of Jarbo.
Shut up, hoe of Jarbo.
Whoa.
That's an insult. Why?
Whoa.
Wait, what?
At least I get paid to do it.
Jarbo pays you?
Yeah.
With what? I don't have any money.
Shh, we don't want to talk about it.
All right, I'm just saying, it's like I don't got any money, so if you're doing it for free, it means you're kind of a slut.
Ouch.
Because hoes get paid. Hoes get paid.
You pay me in Uber Eats.
Yeah, I live literally on the other side of the country, and I'm snowed in at my house, and that's how this works, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah, Saphirical Man, sorry. It was the Brinks truck, not Brinks. Yeah, you're right, Brinks truck. But I agree. I think Marvel, or I think Sony just needs to kind of back that money up, man. Throw that money in. Let it do its thing. But all right, gang, on that one, I'm kind of like I'm feeling pretty tapped out.
Yeah. Do we have any final statements to end this?
Yeah.
This is like the last time you want to talk about this, I know, Matt. So.
Yeah, here's the thing. I will talk about Zack Snyder properties. I'll talk about Rebel Moon. I'll talk about, Planet of the Dead and whatever else is going on. If for some reason the Snyder cut continues and our Snyderverse continues, I am fully prepared to be like digitally pelted with Rotten Tomatoes for a very long time.
Yeah, people are gonna throw rocks at you.
Oh, I will be shunned. I will be stoned. You know what? They will come to my home and they will turn me into Passion of the Christ 2. And everything else.
Charbo died on the cross for Snyder's sins.
You know what? I would be up there. They'd be hammering in the nail. And I'd be like, ow, 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 ow. I regret nothing. Ow, ow, ow. Because I stood by my beliefs. Turns out I was wrong.
Snyderverse. This is dying words.
So, yeah. So, I mean, at this point, Jess here says, Matt talk movies. That's going to be what we want to talk about.
Yeah. I'll just say to end this, I probably emotionally overreacted to a lot of points. If I have ever crossed the line, I do apologize. I will voice an apology right now to Sickness, Rel, Krypton's Core, some other people in Max's chat last night. I do apologize for last night. Hopefully we can all just move on next year, all of us. I feel like I could have done some things better in talking about stuff because I want the Snyderverse to happen. And if it seems like I've come across as crapping on your parade, I do apologize. It's not my intent, but brighter days. New Year starts tomorrow. It's bright and better tomorrow. Let's just all move forward positively together. That's what I say.
Boo!
Yeah.
Fuck your positivity.
At least I'm not the one who rage quit a stream.
I came back though, so fuck your face. No, I've been called very much toxic tonight, so bitches are gonna be toxic. So thank you. You have woken the beast inside Saggy Melons. You're welcome.
I love how all of us are like making peace, and we're all like, let's just move forward positively. Saggy's like, no, fuck y'all.
Yep.
She's like, I'm gonna burn it down.
Right.
I'm gonna treat you all like I treated my little teddy bear when I was going through puberty. I rode that thing so hard.
Yep. You're all getting fucking dry.
Smelled like the ocean. I lived in Ohio.
No. I'm gonna be super toxic now.
Oh, whatever.
With the taste of it in my lips,
William Powell here for $5, man. It says here, if I get a resolution to the Snyder story, I'm not going to pelt you. I'm just going to enjoy the content. Yeah, I mean, that's nice, William. But there should be a little schadenfreude with that, all right? Like, you and I have bickered about stuff before, and, so I wouldn't be against a little schadenfreude on your end. Although I honestly, I forget which bet you and I have at this point, so that's all good, too. The Top 10 Den says, I posted the link to hear the Dark Side voicemail in the Reg chat. On the Discord or where? I don't know where you posted the Reg chat. Was it here somewhere? Because I didn't see it. So Did anyone see that link?
I'm looking for it right now.
I mean, thank you very much for the 20 Canadian. I really appreciate that. I just don't know if it went through.
Well, if it's a link and you post in the YouTube chat, sometimes YouTube filters it out to where it doesn't go through. So
yeah,
he said they said they posted it here. So
yeah, I didn't.
I didn't see it. If you have Twitter, just DM it to me on Twitter, Adam Jarbo, and I'll play it because I mean it's obviously pretty cool. So I'm scrolling back through the chat and trying to find it. I just did not.
Oh, it's a Google Drive thing. Okay.
Oh, okay. Did you find the link?
No, that's what he said in the chat.
Oh yeah, they're gonna block that. Like they're gonna block that. And
yeah, the best thing to do is message him on Twitter. That's probably the easiest way to get to play.
Yeah, if it's a Google Drive, I'm not gonna be able to they're gonna censor.
Oh yeah. Spherical Man asked a question. What were the poll results?
Oh yeah, the poll results were 78% for move the fuck on. So that should the Snyder community move
voted?
on? 174.
Oh, okay.
So I mean that goes to show you that this audience of people is very much on the need of maybe moving forward, and that's where we should potentially
we should probably, I think going forward, let's just not talk about crap anymore. Let's just there's bigger fish to fry at this point. I feel like we've exhausted the topic. This is like the end of the book, and now we open the new book, the Book of Boba Fett.
I mean, at least we got Marvel and Star Wars, so
yeah. And the Batman comes out, and you got Black Adam, and we'll see how Flash turns out. There might be some good news in the horizon. You never know.
Yeah, maybe.
Watch. New Year's Day comes on January 1st. They announce Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. That day, January 1st, they announce it.
Oh yeah, no, I'd be like, all right,
no more.
I would be like, all right, we'll figure out a way to do a live stream where people can just come on in and make fun of me. There's a link. Here's the thing. I would take it too. I would absolutely take it.
Do a call-in show.
I would do a call-in show. I'm like, you guys come and roast me. It's all good. And I would do that for fun. Actually, I think because I've been fully open about that. I think it's all good. Duck Dodger says, I love the book of Riley Reid. Oh, I bet you do, buddy. I bet you do. Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, only problem with that book though is when you get secondhand copies of it, the pages are all stuck together. So
Yeah, you can't even open the front page. It's just all stuck. It's it has a own filter on top of the book. You can't even open it.
Yeah, but you just wipe it off with a towel and you're fine.
Well,
yeah, but the pages went from white to yellow though, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah, and
it's tough to read.
I try to wipe it up with the sock.
It's a locked drive. It's a locked drive. Top 10. So
the chat.
Yeah.
You got to unlock it because it says I need access. So unless you send it to a specific email. So that would be that. There's that right there. Otherwise, yeah. No, I want to hear it. I do want to hear it. Absolutely.
What the hell are these two doing down there? By the way,
I don't know.
It's like SpongeBob and a spider booty.
William here says the show has gone to hell. Are you new here?
Oh, top 10. Top 10's like, God damn it. He's like, oh.
Yeah, it's restricted. It's restricted. If you can unlock it, then I can gladly play it. But let's see, Babe Fortuna. Come on, that's great. No, that is right. I think is that what Jennifer Beals is? Is she Babe Fortuna?
She might be. I don't know.
She's looking good for 58. So I mean,
Zeno.
Yeah. Geek here said this is the weirdest episode of what? Is it though?
No. Zeno, I drank 4 bottles of water today. I am fully hydrated.
4?
I'm good.
You drink 4 bottles of water.
Yeah, but they're really big bottles of water though, so.
Kind of sus of you, RJ.
Alright. Okay, so.
Oh, Shogun's asking what the text in the Riley image said because it was covered up by a super.
Oh, right. Yeah, the text just is it says, "Oh, fuck, you're gonna make me cyberbully." Because that's one of her more famous like quotes is like, "Oh fuck, you're gonna make me come," and like that image right there. And so I stole that from Dane from Force Adversity. So I thought it was pretty funny. All right, let me see. We'll find. All right. Well, okay. I don't want to dox the guy here.
Can we cover stuff up or like?
Well, no, because like he sent me a video of it, but like he's got his cameo and it's got like his full name there.
Oh.
So I don't want to. I'm just going to the Ray Porter bit, and we're gonna get you in. All right. Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure.
We don't want to dox anybody on. Hawaii.
I don't want to dox you, buddy. Yeah, no. So we're just gonna do that, and then I see. Anna came back towards the end.
This is the weirdest episode of Hollywood After Dark yet.
Oh my god.
No. So you're telling me the whole karaoke night? The karaoke one wasn't.
Karaoke one was way weirder. Because
Yeah.
I sang some shit songs.
Drake and
I should say I sang the songs terribly. I do like a lot of those songs.
Damn.
So-
Wait, hold up. So you have to go to the minute 30 mark? Like, what's the rest of the video? Just like personal information?
No. It's just he's just doing the voicemail.
Okay.
So just doing the voicemail. I don't know what else is there, and I'm just gonna go with the voicemail.
Okay.
So because again, but he did have like the other thing that had like the name on there. All right, where is it? Okay, let's.
Corby, what's up, man? Got your message. I'm sitting here in my voiceover studio, as a matter of fact.
Yes, you're okay.
Home built, can't you tell? Anyway,
Back there.
so I'm gonna have to get kind of close to the microphone on this iPad in order to make this work. But I'll give it a go. This is Darkseid, destroyer of worlds, ruler of all existence, and answerer of Corby's phone. Speak after the tone, and once I stride across your bones, all messages will be his.
After some fucking around in Adobe Audition, we have this.
This is Darkseid, destroyer of worlds, ruler of all existence, and answerer of Corby's phone. Speak after the tone, and once I stride across your bones, all messages will be his.
All right, that was cool, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That
was-
gave
wow.
me. I need to change my panties.
What the fuck?
I have to
sorry,
change my
what?
panties.
You gotta
Yeah.
calm
Wait.
down,
Oh, Anna's
Corey.
back. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Melon.
I have to change my panties because Ray
I
Porter.
thought you said shave. I was really
Yeah, you said
confused.
shave. You said shave.
I said change. You friggin'
No,
weirdo.
no.
I said.
no.
You said no. You said shave.
I
You
said change. I said
You
change.
said shave. You
I
said
said
shave.
no. You need to shave, you little bitch.
I already did. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah, shave more.
Okay.
I mean, I could.
Anyways,
I
I
mean,
need
if I have a
to
Manscaped
change.
promotion.
RJ, I mean, sorry,
My
so you do need to, the force is
Shut
getting a little
your-
crazy.
You would never know.
Wow.
The fuck are you both babbling about?
God damn melons.
I
No,
said
she's-
change, you weirdos.
She's out
No,
here looking like the
Shogun
Arden in this
heard
forest.
shave. We all heard shave.
Yeah.
Music Man here says
Taylor,
I heard
thank you,
shave.
Taylor heard change. Thank you.
Dial
Change.
says it. I mean, everyone heard.
Only one
William
person
says your
ballpark
first panty
now.
reference.
First panty reference.
The panty raid.
That's
Well,
what you
The
call out,
panty
William. Not the all. Okay. Anyways, I need to change my underwear because that just never mind. It's
All right,
past.
go change your underwear.
No, the
Yeah,
moment's passed. I
Christ
don't want to change
almighty,
anymore. I'm gonna
you just-
sit here now and stew.
That's nasty.
Like
That's
what? Like in a
nasty.
smelly white frothy substance? Like no.
All right, stop.
Bravo!
You know
Did
what?
you have to go that?
You know what? I think it's time to go to bed.
We're about to hit the 3-hour mark.
Like
so,
have you ever seen somebody like blow their nose on like a black napkin? That's her underwear.
Jarbo, do you
Jesus
regularly
Christ.
describe your friends as frothy?
I would assume. I just have a feeling in this context, it is like, it's kind of like a frappe. Like that's how I view it.
crap.
You know what I mean?
No, you did not.
You are so. Oh my God, Jarbo! Stop always referencing
I'm never
nasty
gonna
things
have
to
a frappe
food,
ever again. I cannot
right?
look at a frappe ever again.
Oh my
Jarbo's
God.
having a frappe fap.
Oh my God.
A fappe?
Yeah.
A fappe.
You're a genius, Jarbo.
No, that's a good one.
I'm gonna go to Starbucks or McDonald's and be like, "Hey yo, can I get a frappe?"
God, a
Yeah, Ray here says a
frappuccino.
frappuccino.
Oh no. Jarbo ruined. He's ruined bubble tea for me. Now he's ruined it. He's gross. You're so gross.
Doing a fap that's Keenan.
Like it's awful because I say something and it's already like a little cringe, and then he like takes it up a notch.
Yeah, Saggy, were you beating your meat?
No, what the? That wasn't me.
Who was
And
that?
I don't have meat to beat. I'm clam.
You don't have
God.
meat to beat.
I have a clam.
What?
It's not a meat
Say it
stick in
like
the
that.
clam.
I mean, technically, clam has meat.
I mean, yeah, but it's like
Yeah, it's
weird
called
when you say a
cleat.
girl's beating her meat. It's more like, you know.
I mean,
Like-
I've seen some videos where it looks like that's happening.
What?
Stop!
You know?
No,
Oh
we're
my
stop.
God,
What? I'm just saying.
Happy New
I grew
Year.
up playing. I grew up playing Street Fighter 2, so Hadouken can have a couple different meanings now that I'm an adult.
Well, you know what?
Please
Saggy
don't
does
Hadouken vaginas.
Well, listen. Saggy does like to flap her gums around a lot, so.
Oh,
So wait, hold on, Saki. Let me ask you a question. Were you disappointed by Godzilla versus Kong this year?
Yes?
Was it because Mothra wasn't there?
No?
Are you sure? Because last I heard you self-identify because you can just really pull out your lips and fly away.
Really? That was a big setup for the joke.
You know what? It's actually I'm actually ripping off an old John Leguizamo joke.
John Leguizamo.
Oh my God, John Leguizamo. Remember him?
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
just
he in
watched
that,
Encanto
like-
again. He's in that one.
Is he? I haven't
Yeah.
seen,
Wasn't he in
seen him in a
Spawn
lot.
too?
He was in Spawn. Yeah, he was in a lot of
Great
things,
in
dude.
Spawn. I liked him in Spawn.
John Leguizamo is the shit.
That weird Romeo and Juliet movie too.
That was a weird movie. It was a great movie.
There's a lot of. Yeah, I had to watch it too for one of my English classes.
A twofer.
Wait, the old Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet?
I had to watch like 3 different versions of it.
Do you hear that? Jarbo's like, bah.
Well, no. Here's the thing. The 1962 Romeo and Juliet adaptation is phenomenal. The early 90s Baz Luhrmann, Leonardo DiCaprio one, it didn't wow me at all. Like we watched it in class, and so Brian didn't. He's like, "Hand me thy broadsword," and it's like this auto shotgun. And, like that's kind of cool. Is he gonna fucking use it? Nope. Then I don't care.
No, it was weird because like they're using alt Shakespearean or the line. I don't think
That's what made it interesting.
It was just weird and like
But that's why it was interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, there's plenty of I had to watch 3 or 4 in my English class in high school, and that one was it's up there, but not like my favorite out of all.
You
the
are an
different adaptations.
uncultured swine.
Whoa!
And your
How am I
chicken
not
nuggets are
uncultured?
disgusting.
Go fuck yourself.
No, fuck you. I'm talking.
She does.
Fucking nugget. I do actually. I do.
We know that.
Exactly.
That's not like that's not. Yeah, that's known.
Hold on. Does Saggy suck or does she swallow?
You'll never
RJ,
know.
Inquiring minds want to know.
You'll
Okay,
never
listen.
know.
What? That's. I think that's a bit too personal.
Yeah,
Thanks,
RJ.
RJ,
The
you
fuck?
just killed the mood.
It's a very common question on the internet. Come on.
Who? Is that the
You know what,
first question
RJ?
you ask a
It's
girl
time to
meet
go to
you?
sleep,
Is that
RJ.
the
You're
first
past your
question you
bedtime.
ask a chick when you meet them? Yes, uncultured swine. Yes, you
Who's that?
uncultured swine. What? You got
That's
that
a logo
up.
that's a logo that I made for. I wanted to do that as like a reading bad reviews on Amazon or IMDb about movies,
Oh
and
my
just have it
God,
be a segment
Jarbo.
called Uncultured Swine.
Jarbo.
Yay!
That should
I
be a
said
thing next
something.
year.
Yeah, that should be a thing next year. You uncultured swine, and you can keep
Yeah.
saying.
Wait, just call me an uncultured swine.
No, I was talking to Jimbo.
Oh yeah, I got
Real quick here, hold on. Top 10 Den here. Thank you again. A video of a canoe full of ground up moose meat. Are you describing Saki's sex tape?
Bro, first of
You
all,
know-
I'm gonna need
you
you to
know
full
what?
on put a stop to that, and I no. By the way, guys, I have an OnlyFans.
Are you comparing Saggy to a moose, or are you saying the moose?
He's talking about what he's talking about is the camel toe, the knuckle, the moose knuckle, right?
Oh, I see.
The moose knuckle.
But yeah, I do actually. I did make an OnlyFans.
No, you don't.
Nobody
don't.
will. Nobody. No, I do. It's just I'm not telling anybody what that is.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do, RJ. I literally showed you guys. I showed someone.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I literally showed.
I clicked on the link.
Okay,
Yes.
sure
confirm.
you do. Sure you do.
RJ, you're never gonna know what it is now because clearly you forgot. I did make an OnlyFans.
She posted it for like a little
Sure
bit
you
in
do.
our Discord, like our mods, and then deleted it. 'Cause
Yeah,
I was just,
What
we're all
the
just like,
fuck?
what the fuck?
Yeah, Jimbo.
Like what's on? But what's on the OnlyFans though? That's my question.
It's Sasha. It's Sagi Sasha.
Oh God, you have an OnlyFans for your puppet?
No, but I thought about doing that. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, that's and like if you would have did that and I clicked like when I clicked on like I was hoping it was gonna be Sagi Sasha like really dumb stupid shit with your puppet, but like no, I can't remember what it was. I felt like damn it, she didn't make this a joke. God damn it.
I think that'd be really funny though to have an OnlyFans that's just like a puppet.
Okay, but the thing is, would people like imagine if she made a shit ton of money because of that?
Here's the thing though, that puppet would have to do something very depraved to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like that you could that puppet would have to felch.
No, I would just, if anything, I would just find guys who are gross and would like to just bang the puppet, but then I'd never be able to use that puppet again. I would never use that puppet.
That's the whole thing is you just make another puppet.
Most people want Sasha to be retired anyway, so I don't think that'd be a bad thing.
That's not. Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel that Sasha would get laid before you would?
Oh my God.
Okay, so wow.
Anyway,
Sasha.
welcome Geekicidal Tendencies.
Yeah, welcome back. I see that. I do see that their Geekicidal Tendencies became a re-upped really because he was already a member. But thank you again so much for coming back to the party. I do appreciate that, Geekicidal. And I appreciate all the members. The members have been growing this year, and I'm really appreciative of that. Also, I just want to get to this one here. Nice comeback. If he wanted a comeback, he'd scrape it off your
lips. Yes, I use that. I've used that.
Okay, I didn't know. I did not know what that was. Scrape it off your. I didn't know that. But...
I've heard one where it says if I wanted a comeback, I'd undo my zipper.
Say what?
Yeah. All right. I talked to Kim Kardashian. I guess.
Say what?
Boo.
Because she said come on her back before.
Boo.
She's had it on a lot of things.
Boo.
Yeah. Boo. Boo.
All right. Fine. So Black Star here says you have to say uncultured swine in a Shakespearean type accent. Hold on. You uncultured swine.
Apparently he can't.
Oh,
that is not Shakespearean. That was like
maybe it's not Shakespeare. Hold on. Well, there's a bit of Scottish in there too, you know. Hold on. For doth the to be or not to be, you uncultured swine. You uncultured swine.
A little better. I think it's your voice is so deep.
It's what I'm able to do with it.
I feel like Shakespearean voices are always so like not as deep as yours.
They're crazy.
Well, I mean, I oftentimes will lose. Like, I would need to go back. I want to go back to acting classes because I want to be able to, like a vocal dialect coach, to be able to do the accents longer, because I can kind of do them sometimes and then I lose it. So it screws me up a little bit. All right. Let's see. William here says, please keep the puppet clothed.
No, what the? It's a friggin' OnlyFans, William. She has to be naked.
What? You don't want to see my titties? What the fuck? You don't want to see?
You don't want to see what? You don't want to see my titties?
That's how it sounds. That's how
a little bit, yeah. Again, all that. Here's the thing: that all that puppet has to do is just go on TikTok, make a whole bunch of videos shaming people, then link to the OnlyFans, and that's going to be the kink. You know, be like, you want Sasha, you know, I can't do the voice, but you know, like,
yes, you can.
Hold on,
yes, you can.
Oh, gee. Oh, Saggy, no.
Oh,
you don't want
hold on.
I have nice titties. What's wrong with you people? I'm a fucking 10. I'm a 10. You all are 1s. You should be honored that I would grace your screens with my titty privilege. You uncultured swines.
I'd rather be subscribed to Miss Piggy's OnlyFans than Sauce.
Because she looks just like you. You like to fap the things that you look like. You little bitch.
Sag, you're not even doing the voice right.
Shut the fuck up. Don't tell me how to do my voice. How dare you?
So I look like a pig? Is that what you're saying?
Look at these tits. They're beautiful.
Oh God, stop.
Yeah, they're faker than they're faker than Kim Kardashian's. We know.
You would know about fake. You like them fake titties, huh? Yeah, you probably would sign up. I guarantee you RJ's just talking shit. He'd be my first subscriber on OnlyFans. Thirsty bitch.
Why do you have... Oh, and I saw you've got the fucking Lord of Patriarchy.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, though. I do think you might be onto something there, right? Like, if you could... Here's what you have to do, though. All right, hear me out. You have to use the puppet to perform oral on your partner, and then that's your hook.
So you say, I create an idea to give you money.
Maybe I'll get a guy with a smaller ween so it doesn't hurt him as much. And RJ, if you're available, I'd be happy to do that.
You're doing the voice wrong, though.
Shut the fuck up! Don't tell me how to do my voice!
Sadly, I'm a bit too large for you to handle, Sasha, but it's okay.
We're talking about... Yeah, you're large in girth in your body, not your penis. We know. No. I'm calling you fat, sir. I'm a fucking puppet. That's what I do. I insult people.
Wait, puppets call people fat?
Yes, we do, because we get body shame because we aren't real people. Don't you know the rules? Yeah.
So you have no identity, so therefore you don't exist. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, fat shamed RJ. How you feel about that, huh? What are you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Care.
Exactly.
I don't really have an answer to this particular quandary.
I'm just sorry. I love
quandary.
Hey, I got a question for Sasha. Is that a rat on your head, or is that your hair?
It's your mom's pubes.
RJ, what's going on?
After I was done with her, she shaved him and put him on my head. Yeah.
All right, I've had enough of this. Jarbo, any last thoughts?
No, this is quality content that should be on TikTok. Just do a live stream where you're just talking to people and you roast them.
What the hell is that background anyway, Sasha?
Not even
none of your business.
Right,
it's called a streaming room. You might know if you had one. You broke bitch.
I do actually. I do.
Yeah? Where is it? Let's see it.
It's where I'm at right now.
Where we'll put your camera on.
You know what? I need to call this out. Saggy, I used to believe it was another character. Now it just sounds like you.
Because they're one. I mean, they're one and the same when you think about it.
It's late. God damn it! I already yelled enough. My voice is already hoarse. I yelled enough.
Hey! Look what's behind Sasha. It's Lunga.
Why are you bringing that up?
Well,
it's from Saggy's YouTube video, and she had a video.
Oh, so you're stealing from Saggy because you have no originality. Okay.
Yeah, she has no personality.
Is that CGI in the background?
You're one to talk, aren't you? Like Jarbo's like one of his ball sacks that came to life.
Saggy, that's fucking CGI.
Yeah, what's CGI?
That's CGI in the background. That's not real. That's not a real.
It's real. It's real. I'm a fucking puppet. What did you? I'm not even real.
in the metaverse. Stop.
Okay, yeah,
in the metaverse.
God.
Shaggy, I just realized that wasn't a real set. Like,
wow, you just noticed that?
Anna's very high.
Anna's very stoned. Having a puppet in your face probably isn't helping your high, is it? Yeah, laugh it up, sexy. Yeah, maybe I'll make you in my OnlyFans videos. Yeah, yum.
I do feel at this point though that you are missing out on a real solid money earner. You know, you're gonna create the puppet sexual. As if those
boom on. Do I really?
Look, I don't know what's I don't know what's on OnlyFans. I've never been,
yes,
so. No, I don't.
What are you trying to say about?
Wow, the purple guy doesn't like the purple furniture. That's really ironic.
Here's the thing. I don't actively. I've never subbed to anyone's OnlyFans, but I have seen. There are websites that leak all that out anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure Reddit you know all about those. Yeah.
So you come across certain things, I guess. You're like,
I'm sorry I body shamed you. You're very sexy. I'd let you hit it.
No,
I actually like big men because they can smother me properly. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, Jarbo, any last thoughts?
All right. Thank you for having me on tonight, Jarbo. It's been a lot of fun.
I look. I understand that you are gonna go book the next flight north, in order to properly smother.
Probably to the North Pole, so I can go freeze to death. Because that'd be more enjoyable.
Oh my
Smother me, baby. I love it. Yeah.
This is the weirdest episode of Hollywood After Dark. Yeah.
You say that every time, Anna. It just gets weirder from here, baby.
Yeah, it's my catchphrase. That's my.
And on that note, it is time to call it a night. Duck Dodgers here for $2 says Kim Kardashian lower back tattoo. Come one, come all. Is that post brought to you by Ray J? Raycons?
Raycons, yeah.
Well, now it's actually sponsored by Pete Davidson.
Yeah, Ray J. Well, Raycons. You've seen those brands, right? The headphones. Ray J is the one who was in the sex tape with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Wait, those are his cons?
Sure.
All right, Jarbo. Any last thoughts?
I agree with Anthony here. I just got here. What the hell am I watching? Dude, I don't even know anymore.
My OnlyFans is dropping soon. Look for it.
Okay, there you go, guys. If you have a fetish to watch a puppet ride a watermelon into completion.
Whoa. We see Sadie. Whoa, just ruined the immersion.
That's what you're gonna get on OnlyFans.
Oh, but then what you got to do is you got to have like a little squirt bottle, right? And then just like blast up, like you're just.
So isn't that one? Oh my God, what's that one movie? Because they literally did this. And it was who's the one of the ladies in the Ghostbusters one that was shit?
Shit. Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig.
Yeah. That's the first one. Melissa, wasn't she in like a really shitty puppet movie that was like the head?
Oh yeah, it was the Happy Time Murders.
Yeah, and I saw a little bit of that and like yeah.
You know what we could do? You know what I can do? You know why you should watch puppet porn instead of human porn? I could do this.
No.
I could do that all by myself. Yeah. Oh, my hair's all fucked up. Oh, shit.
But yet you need a hand up your ass.
Becky, you're fucking hilarious.
My hair, what happened? My weave. Oh, no. I can't see shit. What's happening? Where'd you guys
maybe
go?
I'm just high, but like this is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I can't see shit. Where'd you guys go? I can't see.
Well, gang. On that note, it's time to let Sasha go because apparently she's got an appointment to go pearl diving.
Yeah, it's time to face the music. It's time.
It's time to face the music.
Muppet.
It's time to shut it down. Happy New Year, everybody! I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow night. I might. It depends. If I'm still snowed in, I will because it's like. Everyone in my household goes to bed early, so.
But are you really going to be able to stream late at night, though? Because, like, your audience is going to be fireworks the entire time. It's like boom, 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 boom.
It's going to sound like Afghanistan.
Dude, I live in the woods.
Afghanistan.
The neighbors behind me that used to do the crazy-ass fireworks, they got evicted, like, 2 years ago. So
by me, there's gunshots instead of fireworks.
Yeah, I might hear gunshots at midnight because you can fire off guns out here legally, but, if there's still snow, the snow is going to mute a lot of that stuff.
Close your mouth, Sasha.
Yeah, we don't need to see how you get across town.
Right, RJ.
Get across.
Hog right.
Good night, everybody.